Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Starterpack Podcast, where not only am I here with Jesse and I, but we have a pretty special guest here, Boombringer.
Hello.
Hi, Boom. Hi, y'all.
What?
I was saying hi to Boom.
No,
And
don't ever
hi.
do that again.
Hi.
Hey.
So, welcome on. We've been really looking forward to having you. You've actually been at the base of my advertisements. Anytime I send out an invitation to people, I always say, "Hey, we got Boombringer in here, and he's the big guy." And it always
True.
works.
Well, technically, I'm not actually the big guy anymore. That is Crypt. He is now the big guy.
But Crypt hasn't uploaded in a while.
Yeah, but by technicality, he's winning.
Alright.
So he's the
true.
big guy.
But I've been sending him invites, but he won't respond.
Oh, it's because he's a busy fella.
Yeah, he's got college and all that. Oh man. Can't wait to join him. Anyways, so we're gonna start talking about some stuff here. So brace yourself. To start out, I have a little bit of story about myself, so I'm gonna yap for a second.
All right.
Yesterday, me and Jesse went to my local game store, the one that I work at, and we met this grandma, right, who is super into Skylanders, right?
What?
She's like a 70-year-old lady, and she's got like every single Skylander.
Huh?
I know. She has Robo, Wildstorm, Green Chompy Mage. She has literally everything. She has all the traps, almost every single creation crystal.
Oh. The old ladies are beating me now?
That's what I'm saying.
Even the old ladies have the green chompy mage?
Yeah.
I need to pack it up and retire.
Exactly. Get out of here. We don't want you. We want the grandma. No, but
That's what I'm saying. You should bring her on. I'm interested in hearing her perspective now.
That's what I'm saying. I think I might actually do that, right? But so basically, hold on one sec.
Darn.
Well, Jesse, I guess you can tell me more about this old lady. How did you guys figure out that she was a Skylander addict?
Oh, because I think the reason why they visited there was for Skylanders specifically.
So odd.
I know,
You
it's
would think-
very specific.
Yeah, you would think they would be doing that for their grandkids or something like that, which that'd make sense.
One of the I don't know if it was one of their grandkids or if it was their son or what, but
That was her
yeah.
nephew, I believe.
oh,
Okay, wait. So is it for her or is it for
It's
the
her.
nephew?
It's all
Oh, okay.
her.
Wait, so does she just collect them or she plays it too?
Both.
Oh, okay. Very impressive.
That's what I'm saying,
slick.
right? And so I ended up giving her my number because there are some that I have that she doesn't. I know.
You sly dog.
I'm sliding into grandma's DMs. That's crazy.
you're crazy.
No, so I sent her my number because she wanted to trade some stuff, and I'm kind of lacking in some creation crystals, so I ended up doing that. So hopefully I get a message from Pookie.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that happened yesterday. It was a very interesting thing, and I figured I'd talk about it. But enough about me and Jesse. We're going to talk about you.
Before we do that, you should tell that old lady to ask if she has some green chompy mages, extra ones lying around, because I would like one.
Boom, if I'm gonna be honest, if she only has 2 and gives me 1, I'm keeping that shit.
That's messed up.
Oh, bro's gatekeeping the Chompy Mage?
Dude,
Come
I need
on.
Chompy Mage. I need him.
You do. I was about to say you don't understand, but you do. You know exactly what the pain and suffering I've gone through. Literally, my housemates up at my college house, they don't know that, or the girls, they don't know that much about Skylanders. Even they know the name Green Chompy Mage because I always rant about how that's the thing I want, but I'm never gonna get it. So it's just that's my driving force. If I honestly think about it, it's if I get the Green Chompy Mage, it's it's like the goal that I've set for myself that will never be accomplished. So I honestly don't know what will happen when I do it. I'll feel empty. It's like I've done it, but like, what's next? There's nothing like super expensive. It's over. It's the green Chompy Mage.
Right. I feel kind of the same way right now. So I have like, other than like variants and stuff, I have every single like, very cheap figure, and everything I have left is from Imaginators, which tells you it's very expensive.
Yep.
And anything that I'm not missing from Imaginators is still really expensive, like Spotlight, Echo, not Echo, Spotlight, Blackout, Breeze, and also Thermopede.
Poor thing. You see, I had Breeze in box for a while, and then I took her out.
I had Echo in box, and then I took her out.
I don't regret it that much, just because it's like, I can't really use the minis, because they're so close together, you can't really use them in the box.
Right.
So I don't really regret it, but I got her for a new in box with Pet back in 2020, new, for about 40, and they were from Germany, which was very odd, but I just don't understand how Skylanders have gone up so much in these last couple of years. I mean, like, because they went down, and now they went back up. And so are they just going to keep going up now forever and ever? Or are they going to go back down after people don't care about it?
Well, I think what happened was, with the 1-year anniversary of SSA, I think that brought a lot of people back, now that it's officially 10 years. I feel like that...
1-year anniversary?
Did I say that? Okay.
Yes, you did.
10 years, right? So ever since it came back, I feel like a lot of people went back and just kind of enjoyed it after 10 years, so...
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, during that anniversary stream, I was still... A little bit of cope was in me. I was like, maybe something will happen. Maybe a port, maybe a remix or something. But then it ended, and I went, nope.
Oh, what would have been so peak is if all of a sudden the stream like just crashed and it cut to Richard Horvitz saying, like, doing his chaos thing, and like you thought you saw the last of me or something, and then just boom, new Skylander game.
True, but if there was ever a new Skylanders game, I kind of don't want Chaos to be the bad guy again.
I don't know. He's like too iconic for me. Like,
yeah, but here's the thing. Like, Imaginators, he doesn't really have a purpose to be the villain anymore. Right? They were gonna do Malefor instead after Superchargers, but of course, Toys for Bob decided against that. I would like a dragon villain like Malefor, or even like Dragon's Peak disappoints me because I thought I was gonna get to fight this cool, like bad guy dragon,
but instead he sniffs your sock.
Yeah, exactly. So. I don't know. I think you have your dragons confused, but
wait, am I being confused?
Yes, you're very confused.
Okay, wait, which dragon are you talking about?
Vathic is the dragon in
Dragon's okay, Peak. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I heard Cloud Breather. Sorry, my bad.
No. But yeah, I don't know. Chaos is very iconic, and I'm not saying I don't want him in the game, because I still want him as like a companion, or somebody that's in the story of the game. I just don't want him as the main villain anymore, and that's why Superchargers works so well. Is because while Chaos is still like almost the big bad guy in it,
it's by the darkness.
The darkness is the actual big bad guy, and Chaos is manipulated to do everything the darkness wants her to do, and that's why it's so entertaining to watch. Because Chaos himself isn't really like the most evil guy. He says he wants to be evil, but he's not really that evil. Like, he doesn't want to destroy Skylands, really. Like, he just wants to rule it because he likes attention. Where the darkness just wants to destroy and rule everything, like, and just kill everything. That's like so intimidating and so cool, and I would like a more high stakes, kind of like Superchargers had a little bit, and I would like that again. I'm not saying I want Skylanders to be specifically dark or edgy, because you don't need Legend of Spyro. I'm just saying I would like a villain whose motives are just like, just a really bad dude because I'm just bad.
Right.
And I think that's cool. I think that's fun. And it's just like an extra reason why I want to kick this guy's booty, you know? So I'm just saying a villain dragon would be really cool.
Yeah. And so with Chaos coming back, if he were to come back, of course, as we were saying, like, I think Superchargers did him the best. And I
100%.
think I would love to see that kind of aspect of him being kind of controlled by this big thing, thinking that he will succeed. But then he comes to realize. At the same time, I'm kind of tired of every single game he ends up becoming the good guy, like at the very end. Like, at the first 2-3 games, like, he was just always the bad guy. He was always seeking out a better way to annihilate the Skylanders and rule Skylands, right? But with Trap Team, or not so much Trap Team, but mainly Superchargers, and I guess a little bit of Trap Team, at some point, he ends up becoming the good guy and helping the Skylanders. And it's like, but he's the villain, you know? And I guess that's kind of made him into more of an anti-hero, which I don't mind that aspect, but I don't know. I just think that he's just so iconic. He just kind of has to stay, you know?
Yeah. Well, again, I'm still fine with him being there in some sort. I wouldn't want the game without him being in there. I'm just saying I would like for some more unique big baddies, you know?
Definitely. So with that being said, we move on to the next topic, and I'm pretty sure I know this already, but just to get the people in the comments all furious, what's your favorite Skylander game?
Giants. That's it.
That's a base choice, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the official list, and I have my reasonings, is obviously Giants first, then Spire's Adventure, because no jumping games are just peak gameplay, art style, it's immaculate. Superchargers.
Yo, super third.
And third, best jumping game in my opinion. People can cry about the car segments all they want, but they're really not that bad, especially if you change your control to stick scheme in the options menu. It makes the driving segments so much more bearable. I think Skylanders Superchargers is not very fun two-player, especially in the vehicle segments, but as I think it's one of the best ones single-player wise.
I will
Because
say, oh no, you continue.
yeah, it's just like I don't like the mini games in two-player. They're just never that much. They're not usually that fun. So, and the car segments extend to that. But then I have Trap Team at fourth because I think Trap Team still has a little bit of that Toys for Bob charm because it's on the Giants and Spyro's engine. So I can still do my awesome Eruptor Invincibility Eruption where he has invincible frames, which is awesome. And then I put Swap Force, which has the most content, but I just don't enjoy playing it. All the enemies are sandbags and just take 1,000,000 damage to kill on higher difficulties. Jumping doesn't really add anything to the game. You can't jump and attack. And it just, the combat takes forever. The levels take forever. I usually, when I'm playing Swap Force, especially with somebody else, we play one level and maybe two, and then we're tired and we're done. I think it does really good in other areas. The arenas are the best in this series. The bonus content is awesome and stuff like that. But it's just like everything is so slow about the actual main game. The combat is slow. It relies on knocking over enemies off cliffs because they have so much health. It just it's so slow. But the game is pretty, but I just really miss the old classic Skylanders art style because I don't necessarily think Swap Force's art style is horrible. I just don't think it's as unique as the first two games. And of course, Imaginators is obviously going to have to be at the very last. Just objectively, it's the worst one. So,
You have anything to say about that before I yap, Jesse?
oh, Imaginators.
No, all those are base decisions. Or based opinions, not decisions.
So, where I am, right, I think Giants and Superchargers for my list would be definitely tied because I love Giants as, I don't know, I just think, although it is more of a DLC to SSA, as most people say, it is still a great game by itself. I love the new characters for the game. The story's great. I don't know, I just feel like the first two games had a very linear story, one like Superchargers, but maybe not as developed. I just think it's so linear and it's so easy to follow, and it's just nice. For third place, it would probably be like Trap Team, but I'm still not sure about it. It's like either Trap Team or SSA, so I'll just say SSA for right now. Fourth would be Trap Team, obviously, and my reasoning is it's a buggy mess. At the same time, I do love the roster. Don't like how much they cost, but I love the unique characters, and I don't know, I feel like they did the jumping mechanic pretty good too. So with fifth, that's gonna be Swap Force. Wait, did I already say it? Yeah, Swap Force. And then obviously last would be Imaginators. So the reason why for Swap Force is because it is very long. As you were saying, it feels like it carries on too long. The enemies are just annoying more so. The jumping mechanic, although first introduced in that game, it just wasn't. It just no.
Was
They
it
didn't.
polished?
Yeah, and
Also, a good point you said about the enemies that I totally forgot to mention is there is so many enemies, but they're almost all the same thing. They
Yep.
either spin or invincible. Like there's so many enemies that are just like, you know how they're just very beefy and tanky to kill. I hate the fact that there's so many of them that I do attack and you can't hit me while I'm doing this attack. Wait for me to stop doing this attack and then attack me, or when I'm doing my attack, I take less damage. It's
Yep.
like almost all the enemies are that exact same cycle, and it's so boring.
Yeah. Another thing for Swap Force, the one good thing that I wouldn't say one good thing, but one of the good things that comes from it is Platinum Sheep.
It's true, Platinum Sheep is there.
Yeah. Obviously for Imaginators, it's kind of tough to put this one last because for as much as the community hates on Imaginators, I don't mind it as much. Reasoning is, although it is the worst in the franchise, I do love the gimmick. Though it could have been executed a lot more better, I do think the gimmick is really cool. The story is obviously not great. I love the battle mode or the arena mode or whatever you call it, the whatever it is, right? I really love that. I love just sitting in there and doing it, but that's like the only thing to do post-game content. Sure, you could do the quests from the brain or whatever, but it's just replaying levels or replaying locked levels or whatever. And it's like it's just kind of repetitive and annoying with after game content. Aside from like the stock music and the pretty bland story, I don't mind the levels. Some of the levels are actually like really good. My favorite level is the Lost Imaginite Mines because Blobbers and like, you know, he just goes
Blobbers.
crazy.
Yeah, honestly.
I will say one thing about Imagineers that I noticed when replaying it with my friend Noah for the first time. I think the first half of the levels are actually a lot better, and then it just gets worse towards the later half.
Yeah.
It's just I like Shelmont Shores. I like even the one level that has the stupid the vultures. Even though I hate the platforms and I hate the wrecking ball, the actual level itself, other than that's fine. I like I don't know, the one that you go down the raft and stuff like that. All of those are
That
pretty
was
good and decent
Mushroom
levels.
something.
Mushroom River something? I don't
Yeah.
know. The point being is I think Imagineer's first half is actually not that bad, but the later half of the levels are worse, and that's what leaves a sour, taste in your mouth once you beat the game, because that's more fresh in your mind as those later levels.
Definitely. I like there are some aspects to Imaginators, as I was saying, like that are really good. It's just that it's just not the best in the franchise. Those good qualities don't make up for the bad qualities, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Also, I would like to ask you when you said Giants is just a Spires Adventure DLC. I've never understood that. Like, what makes it a Spires Adventure DLC?
So I personally, like I was saying, everybody says that. I don't like believe it to a certain point. I still see it as its own actual game. But the reason why people say it is it feels very much like Spyro's Adventure. Sure, the textures are better, a lot of the gameplay is better, a lot of the, things to do afterwards is better, obviously there's a lot of cut and paste from the first game because it was built off of the first game. But what a lot of people mainly point to is the graphics. People always say Swap Force innovated it and it didn't feel as much as a DLC. But, like you were saying, and something that I wholeheartedly agree with, is I love the graphics for SSA and Giants. Not because of nostalgia, but because that art style is so unique. Where all the games at that time were like Gears of War, Black Ops, like those were all like what people saw at the time as like very realistic, very, like very well polished. But Spyro's Adventure and Giants, like they still felt like GameCube games or like PS2, PS1 games, and they were
their color palette is all over the place in a
very
good
much
way.
so. Yeah, I feel like it's like a lovely chaotic craziness. I don't know how to perfectly put it into words, but it was a good game, and it's like Giants is like one of my favorites, as I was saying.
I will say this, I don't really I still don't understand it because it's like, it's on the same engine, it has the same art style, and it has the same gameplay, but you could literally say that for like almost every single game. Like you could
Trap
say
Team and Imaginators.
Yeah, you could say that for Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODST. They are on the exact same engine, and Halo 3 ODST is built off of Halo 3, but it's its own separate game because I don't really understand it, because Giants innovates and adds so much that it deserves to be called its own game.
Absolutely.
It adds
100% agree.
increased levels, for all Skylanders, adds new heroic challenges, adds new Brock arenas, adds a whole new hub, adds a whole new story to go through, and it has so many things it innovates and fixes that it's not DLC in any. In what world is 16 whole levels, like 20 something battle arenas, new levels for like battle mode for ring out and stuff like that, 16 new characters, and that's DLC? That is not DLC. That is a whole new freaking game. Because people will not look at Swap Force and then there's Superchargers, which are, Superchargers built off of Swap Force, same engine, everything. That's not nobody ever calls that a DLC. Nobody calls Imaginators a DLC for Superchargers, even though Imaginators is 100% like completely built off of Superchargers. So many Supercharger assets are placed all over the place.
Almost like every single asset.
Even enemies are copied and pasted from Superchargers. And that's not a DLC? I don't understand. So,
yeah.
I don't understand that point of view or perspective, because Giants it adds too much to be considered just a DLC.
I 100% agree.
It improves so much upon SSA.
It does, 100%.
Still love SSA, but it is...
There's one thing they did. They nerfed Whamshell, and I'll never understand why. I want an explanation. Why is his attack speed slower? Why? The random thing, as a kid, and even as an adult, I would think, would be like, oh, well, maybe they did it because Whamshell's not getting a repose, but Boomer's the same. He's not changed at all. So it's like Camo's the same. So it's like Warnado's the same. I don't understand why Whamshell specifically got his attack speed changed, because in Spyro's Adventure Wii, which is what Giants is built off of, Whamshell isn't overpowered by any means at all. So I don't understand specifically his nerf, but I know it's like a rant and a tangent. I don't understand it, but yeah.
So, enough about favorite games. I already know this story, but not a lot of people do. So, how did you get into Skylanders?
So, originally, Skylanders, I think, came out, and I didn't hear anything about it when it came out. But our Walmart had one of the little portals or whatever that you could put on, and I remember seeing that, and we were looking, I think, for a Christmas gift for my brother, and we saw that, and I went, oh, that's cute. I wasn't really thinking about it for myself, because this was 2011, so I had just gotten an Xbox 360. I was playing games like Call of Duty Black Ops, Halo Reach, and stuff like that. So, as we would call them, the big boy games. So, because before that, I had only had a PS2 and Wii playing, like Transformers the game, Lego Star Wars, or playing like Wall-E on my DS, like all, licensed tie-in games. So this is like, oh, I'm not gonna. I'm not going back to the kids' games. I'm staying at that.
Yeah.
So we got, or actually, I didn't know that they got the game for him. I just said that looked cute. And on Christmas, my brother Andrew opened up a present, and it was Drill Sergeant, the Walmart exclusive Drill Sergeant. And he said, I don't have this game. I think that's exactly what he said or something. The next present was the starter pack for the PS3.
Oh, PS3.
Yeah, it's the PS3. And I played, I think, a couple of levels with him. So we had the starter pack and Drill Sergeant. And so he made me play as Gilgrunt and Spyro because he thought the cool robot and the cool guy with the guns are the ones I want to play as. And then I had to play the stinky fish and the purple dragon that got its nose shoved in. So,
oh yeah, but as we know, Gilgrunt isn't that bad. He isn't that stinky.
Oh no. I love all the Spyro's Adventure characters, and I love the Skylanders Spyro design. I'm just saying, it was funny because, as a small child, he wanted to play the guy that had the guns, and he wanted to play the cool robot, which made sense instead of the fish. Dragons are cool. I just don't think Andrew was ever into dragons that much. So,
The fish.
and then I think we got to chapter, is it 7? I don't know. Whatever the one with the Cyclops with the little ball that you have to get from.
Like
it
Castle.
makes. Yeah, that one. We got to that one, and we got Prison Break Soul Gem, and basically Soul Gems are basically glorified like advertisements for that Skylander, basically telling you to buy them.
Yep.
And it worked because I saw Prison Break Soul Gem and I went, that guy's cool. And I went to Walmart because I went, you know what? I'm tired of being, having to play as Andrew's Skylander. I want at least one for my own. So I bought Prison Break because at Walmart had just gotten a shipment. I got very lucky. They also had Wrecking Ball, which is the one Andrew really wanted. I was like, oh, we should get Wrecking Ball. But my parents, I was actually just with my mom, and she said, no, we're just here for you. So we didn't get him Wrecking Ball that time. But I got my Prison Break, and I went into battle mode and immediately got demolished because I forgot you have to upgrade Skylanders. So, plus this is X-Pec, so Prison Break isn't the best anyways. But I still loved playing as Prison Break with my brother and stuff. Now having my own character to play. And then during that time, I actually didn't have the game, obviously. And he didn't actually like it that much. I actually liked it more than him. So I kind of basically, held his hand through it, and he started to like it because, as younger brothers do, they like things that the older brother like most of the time. So, and this was one of the cases. So he got to enjoy it and like it more because we got to bond over it and play it together. So, but I still didn't actually have the game for myself, and I was actually playing Skylanders Universe and using his web codes, but since I didn't have the game, so that basically was my version of the game, was Skylanders Universe, which is a old web game for most that might not know, where basically you have to build your own little island and like basically visit other portal masters in the main island and like break the elemental totems and play mini games and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun. But I think literally probably 1 week after I got Prison Break, I was like, Mom, this game's a banger and I kind of need it. So I went, I think, because it was right after Christmas, so I still had to, I think I still either had money or I returned something and I could get something. So I went to Walmart, I got the starter pack for my Xbox 360, and Bash. Picked that up as well. So I was ready to go. I had my Prison Break already, Bash, and the starter pack, and that is officially how things started for me. And then I loved my Skylanders ever since then. I kept playing them. But yeah, those first 5 those are my boys. Unfortunately, though, my Gilgrunt, I think I might have told you guys this story.
I'm aware.
Unfortunately, he is no longer with us because so Andrew's Gilgrunt, I think the chip fell out at some point. So what happened was we just taped the bottom back up, right? And when we taped it up, it was all fine once he taped it up. But we were trying to tape. We took that tape off and we said, "Why is it actually stuck? We want to open this up to look at it again." And I accidentally threw it on the floor, not like intentionally, like I was pulling so hard that I accidentally like slipped out of my hand. And the bottom finally came off again, and then I realized the one that I was pulling on wasn't actually mine or my brother's; it was mine. So I popped the bottom off of my gill grunt too. And I went over to my grandma's at one point because I was just keeping the bottom. I'd just like sit the gill grunt on the ground and the base would stay on there. But I never put tape on mine. And I was playing at my grandma's house, brought my Xbox and stuff over there, and I turned around and one of my little cousins just had the chip in his mouth and he was just chewing it. He spat it out and I still have the chip, although it just doesn't work because obviously he bit into it. He was very young at the time though. But, I got a replacement gill grunt, but still, those 5 Skylanders, they are my boys. So, but that's how I got started on Skylanders, and I played all of them through my, teenage and college, or not college, but like teenage years. Played all of them through, and I enjoyed them very, very much, whether it be playing with my cousins, my brother, or even playing the online web game. And with others, so yeah.
Rest in peace, Gilgron.
Yeah, rest in peace. I still have his figure and I still have his chip. So one day, if I ever wanted to smash another Gill Grunt to put a different Gill Grunt chip in there, I could. Although I think I remember Taylor showed me. I think you can buy tags or something. I don't know if they're skinny enough to go in there. I don't think they are, but still, I'm sure that I could somehow get a replacement and fix my old Gill Grunt. Although he will never have his unique ID. Sad.
That's so unfortunate.
So yep, that's my start.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure you already know how me and Jesse started.
I think so, yes.
And I've already explained it on here before, so I'm not
okay. If you've explained it on the air before, that makes sense.
Yeah, but if you didn't know about it, I'll obviously tell you because it's a pretty interesting story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of interesting for everybody because it's always so different. Well, I wouldn't say always so different because most people are like, oh, I got it for Christmas 2011 and loved it ever since. Which, to be fair, mine and your story are like that, but we're just cooler and we provide more details.
Oh, yeah.
Jesse is obviously more unique in the fact that he just became a fan like a little over a year ago now.
Which is crazy. Poor man's getting in there. Gonna have to spend so much money.
Yeah. Speaking of spending money, Jesse, have you ever bought that Firebone hot dog yet?
I think he's muted right now.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah. I'm assuming the answer is no then.
Probably not.
Firebone hot dog's not even really that good. Ironically, he's not very good in Swap Wars, and then obviously Superchargers and Imagineers, like his WoW Pow isn't. It's actually a lot better, though, in Trap Team for some weird reason.
Yeah. I could
I
believe
don't know why. Well, most of the time, Swap Force stuff is horrible in Trap Team, so this is like the one time that it's actually really goated with the sauce for no reason.
That's pretty banger.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see, what else is there to talk about here? Favorite character?
Well, my favorite character is Prism Break. Ever since I got that cool rock prism guy, he's been my favorite. Well, actually, that's not true. He is my favorite now, and he was my favorite back then. But I think around more, I guess halfway through Spyro's life cycle, and probably the rest of the series through, it was Drobot. But I kind of got bored of Drobot when I got back in, and I reverted back to my origins in my Prism Break default state. Because Prism Break's a little bit more interesting. Just he's got more going on. Because Drobot is mostly just hold A most of the time. Well, I guess depending on what platform or what game you're playing. But you get it, hold one button down. And Prism Break, especially Series 2, I never knew how much he melts until obviously I got back in stuff because I don't think I had Series 2. But obviously I have it now, and Series 2 Prison Break actually like changes the entirety of like the viability of how good Prison Break is.
Yeah.
And that's why like I've been recently playing Skylanders with my cousin, which is always fun because I just like playing through the games with people just because they're just really fun, especially with two people. There's some of the best co-op games you could play in my personal opinion.
Absolutely.
And it's just I have a bunch of duplicate Series 1 Prison Breaks, and I thought about giving some of them to her, but then I said no. Because most of the time, I don't care which version of a Skylander I give to her. Like, I didn't have a Series 2 Hex, but I had a bunch of Light Core Hexes, so I could give her one of those because she likes Hex. And I went, well, maybe I should wait for Series 2 Hex, because Series 2 Hex WoW power is pretty good.
Really?
I went, nah, it probably won't matter. So I just gave her a Light Core Hex, but I am holding off on giving her Prison Break until I get her that, because we're on Giants, and once we get into Swap Force, Prison Break just isn't going to be able to do anything. So I am waiting if I give her a Prison Break for it to be Series 2. Same with Whirlwind. Whirlwind's good all around. Although Series 2 Whirlwind's WoW POW is just crazy. So there are certain characters I'm holding off on giving her until I get one that's like, this WoW POW changes the entirety of the character. Like, she has Series 1 Spyro, Series 2 Spyro, and Series 3. They're alright, but they're nothing spectacular, and you don't really lose out on that much by just only having the Series 1. Like, same with Series 2 Trigger Happy. Series 2 Trigger Happy is really good, but she only has Series 1, and like, especially the Rocket Trigger Happy is kind of bad, but
Yeah.
Series 2 Trigger Happy is pretty good, but she's not losing out on too much overall, because Trigger Happy's best path is just throwing the save for the pot, and I'd rather just do that instead of spamming the WoW POW, so she doesn't really lose that much. Even Gilgrunt, and I did an Ultimate Nightmare run with Gilgrunt. She just only has Series 1, and Series 1 Gilgrunt's fine. She does have a Series 3 Stealth Elf, though, and I think Series 3 Stealth Elf is the best Stealth Elf, just because that ninja kick, especially in the Vicarious Vision game, knocking people over is really fun and good. But that Series 3 Stealth Elf is also an amputee. She's missing all of her limbs except the legs, which is very cool, so... but I've been enjoying that. I played it actually a little bit more with her today. We got through 2 levels. We just got through Chaos's Castle. But I also just bought a Skylanders lot because I'm addicted to plastic. Probably shouldn't spend as much money as I do. But, that's just the curse of being a Skylander fan. It's like, oh, I already have those figures, but that's a good deal. I can't miss out on that good deal, What if I ever want to, like, since I'm a Skylanders expert, I know the value, I could, like, sell them maybe and, like, make my money back. Or, and what ends up actually happening is I keep them, and then I end up just giving them to friends when we want to play through the game. Or to help them get started.
If that's so, I mean,
yeah.
Jesse here doesn't have a Doomstone.
It's true, and I have a immense pile of Doomstones, aka like 4 or 5. But that's just because usually I buy the lot based on Doomstones in it. So I know I'm getting a deal. But this lot was actually pretty good. It's really weird. Did I ever show you the picture of this lot?
I think maybe. I don't remember though.
Okay, well I'll send it real fast, as well as I'll describe it too. But basically, it's I guess I'll send it in this general chat, just since we're talking. But I think it's interesting because it was such a weird lot because it has so many of the same characters just over and over in it. Like there's like I think 3 glow in the dark sonic booms in there, and I don't understand why. And also both of the Spyros look like there's like just really a lot of dust on them.
Is that
I don't know
dust?
if it's paint or I don't know what it is. It could be paint.
I've gotten that on a couple of my figures.
I don't know. It's just it looks like dust, and then there's I think 2 roller bros in there. There's 3 slobber tooths. There's like a couple of flash wings, a couple of Series 2 whirlwinds. Yeah,
Sounds
I don't
like
know.
somebody's
It's just
getting a Series 2 Whirlwind.
yeah. So they're getting a Series 2 Whirlwind. They're getting a Light Core Shroom Boom because there's several in there. I think she'll get a Flashwing because she does like all the girl characters, obviously. Like I think her favorite ones is because she recently passed her driver's test.
Ooh.
So to give her a new character, I basically said, listen, I normally only give you certain characters, obviously the cheaper characters, out of my dupe bucket because I go, listen, me giving her this jetvac that's 99 cents is not going to hurt or affect me in any manner. It's just only going to enhance our time playing the game, which it's funny. Excuse my language, but we nicknamed the jetvac the bitch. So it's because I play as him and I just steal all the money. So it was funny because we were literally on the first level and I put jetvac on. And I think, because the character she got for passing her driver's test is she picked out Ninjini, obviously. Which I only had one dupe up, but which I was fine giving with her, because I was like, this Ninjini will have a happier home than sitting under my bed. So, it was funny. She was Ninjini and I was Jetvac, and I just, literally, I think we were in the very beginning area on the first level, and I just sucked up all the money, and then we walked forward a little bit, and I kept sucking all the money, even though she was farther ahead than me. And she just went, you bitch. So that is how Jetvac the bitch was born.
It's so funny hearing you swear.
Well, I don't do it that often, even in my own thing, but to like express that's just like that's what that Jetvac is called. There's no way around it. So
well, you could say the B word.
Yeah, but that's just lame at that point. I don't curse in my normal vocabulary. That's just not really me. I say like hell. You know, and I say
you said a bad word.
I say bastard a lot because bastards. I just love that word. That one's
It's a
so
funny
fun.
word.
They're just calling people bastards. That's fun. But I don't really cuss that much. It's just I grew up Catholic, so I just don't.
Oh, that explains it.
Yeah, I grew up Catholic and went through a literal Catholic school for my first couple of years of school till I think 5th grade is when I stopped going to the Catholic school just because the teacher was kind of like weird and abusive and strict, so we got out of there.
I was about to say who touched you,
yeah.
but
no, just abusive. But like smacking people with rulers, which even back like in what? This is actually Skylanders era. Yeah, this was Skylanders era. So like 2011, that's even hitting kids with rulers is like very outdated for then. So
it's outdated.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
the methods
it's like
don't work anymore. You got to smack them harder.
So yeah, I stopped going there. But yeah, it's forever a part of me. I'm not like against cussing or anything. I just don't do it a lot. So, but yeah, no, I'm having a lot of fun playing that through with her, and now she'll have a lot more characters. Because right now, compatible characters with Spyro's Adventure, I think. Okay, so there's Spyro. She actually didn't have a magic for a while, but her sister just gave her a Spyro, which I'm actually surprised because usually, it's like, I'm not going to use this toy ever, but you can't have it because it's mine, is usually their mentality. So I'm surprised they actually decided to give them that Spyro, but yeah, so she has Series 1 Spyro. I won't mention the actual series. I'll just say she's got Spyro. Earth, she has Bash, because I gave her Bash. Gilgrunt, I gave her a Gilgrunt. Eruptor, I gave her an Eruptor. Trigger Happy, I gave her a Trigger Happy. I gave her a Cinder. I gave her a Hex. Gave her a ton of Stump Smashes, 44 of them. And then I gave her a Sonic Boom. So, and then Giants, she's got T-Rex, Jetvac, Pop Fizz, Ninjini, and then Swap Force, Legendary Zulu, Jolly Bumble Blast, and then Washbuckler and Blast Zone. So her collection isn't really that massive, other than for some reason having 44 Stump Smashes.
It is very random too.
Well, the story behind that, which I know I've told you guys, but I'll explain it again, is just because during my Japanese Spyro's Adventure stream, they show up periodically through the stream, and I let her play for a little bit, and she was playing a Stump Smash, because I think I just had all of them out just to test them out in that version of the game. and she just liked playing Stump Smash because she could flatten the sheep, like cartoon style. So for getting into my college, she made me a sheep cake, like the cartoon flattened Skylander sheep cake. And I thought that was, the most adorable thing ever, which, that means a lot to me because obviously she made that just for me because she wanted to. And she made it specifically that sheep, being flattened because even if it was only probably, a level or so, or I don't even remember how long that she was in the stream, maybe 30 minutes. That 30 minutes was so special to her that she made a whole cake out of that moment. So I asked, good old Matt on the SCL, and I said, "Hey Matt, if you put all the Series 1 and Series 2 Sub Smashes on sale, I'll buy them all." And I did. He put them all on 99 cents, and I bought them all, and I think he had 44 in stock at the time. So she got 44 Stump Smashes, and at the time, I think that's when she only had Sonic Boom. I also put Eruptor in that order because he was 99 cents at the time. I gave her that too. But just because he was 99 cents and I'm already buying a bunch, just throw him in there. So I think she had Eruptor, Sonic Boom, and 44 Stump Smashes. And that's what she had. But starting up now, we've given I think I gave her Jolly Bumble Blast during last Christmas too. But yeah, starting now, that's when I've been giving her all these characters and stuff because just playing through the games, this is how I bond with people. It's just playing through these games. That's how I hear all the time that people don't have good relationships, with their whether it be their family or their siblings and stuff like
Jesse,
that.
He's talking about us.
Wow, what? No.
But the nice thing about me and my brother is we got to bond over playing, games like Skylanders. I think Skylanders was the biggest one, but just video games in general. Playing them together, playing co-op, Halo, or playing Call of Duty Zombies, seeing how far we can make it. But most of all, obviously Skylanders because it is 100% strictly an offline game where, for the most part, it is cooperative and we have to work together as a team until we take each other into battle mode, which we are ridiculously good at since we've been playing it for like 12 or so years. So we just absolutely obliterate each other. And I think it's funny because I occasionally go, into my server every once in a while and I go into battle mode. I think it's funny because I obliterate mostly everybody every single
I can testify
time.
to this.
Yes, it's true.
But I figured out your patterns, and I'm willing to rematch you.
Ooh, very nice. I'm eager for that. But yeah, I think it's fun and interesting because I grew up doing that so much. So it's interesting, and then I play against somebody that has basically almost no battle mode experience, and I just I wipe the floor with them, and I just think it's so funny and interesting because I'm like, I really am so invested in these games that it's crazy.
He's talking about me again.
That I just I know them inside and out. I know the mechanics of how every character works almost for the most part, and their weaknesses and what makes them strong and stuff like that. And I just think it's cool that a lot of people that are content creators, they don't know that much about what they're making. They enjoy it, right? Which is good. That's the biggest key to making something is making it for you and because you love doing it. But the thing with Skylanders, for me specifically, that's so nice is that I have the skills to pay the bills and back up what I'm saying too, which is nice. Because a lot of the times, some people just don't know all about what they're talking about, and that leads to misinformation, and which we all know plenty about that when it comes to Skylanders. So, but I am very fortunate to be in the position that I am now, just because literally the entirety of how my YouTube worked and started out, which I guess I'll explain that real fast because that seems like one of the important things of when and being in a podcast and talking about being a YouTuber and yada yada is I think during around COVID I had set my YouTube picture as a really crusty picture of Boomer, Not that Boomer is my favorite Skylander or anything. I just think he looks stupid and dumb, and that's funny. So around, I started getting back into Skylanders and collecting a couple of them because COVID, it's not that much to do, and I just was having a fun time with it. And I started posting memes on Reddit because I noticed on the r/Skylanders that the memes are abysmal and horrible. So if you can go back on my account, on my Reddit account, which is Vibrating Turtle, which, funny fact, the only reason my account name is Vibrating Turtle is because I have a turtle, like, neck massager. It's, like, in the shape of a turtle. And it was the thing on my desk, and I looked over it and said, okay, that will be my username. Just because I had that sitting next to me. And that's where I got started. I was just posting memes, and almost every single day for that summer, I was the top voted guy. Every single time. Because I actually, would cut things out in Photoshop, and, like, my memes were actually, I put, care into them. It wasn't take meme from Google Images and put caption on top, It wasn't that. So I put a little more work into it. And as I slowly, got through my picture-based memes and stuff like that, I eventually made one big video meme. Or I made a couple of video memes, and then my big one, right? Because I never really saw any video memes. So I really wanted to get into keyframing. So I did Nightmare Chaos in a nutshell, just out of spite to prove that someone can make a Skylander video that has good effort and work put into it. I look back at it, and I know the faults of it. I know it's not perfect, but for the most part, it stands as a testament of what my values when it comes to making Skylander stuff is I just want to do it because no one else will. And that's almost literally almost all my content. But yeah, so I made Nightmare Chaos, and the rules of the subs, at least at that point, I think it might have changed. But I might not have, for all I know. But during that time, no self-promotion was allowed. But people asked if I had a YouTube channel, which I did. I uploaded my stuff on there too, mostly just so I could have it and just get to it quickly instead of having to go through my file browser on my phone or something, just so I could put it out there and stuff like that, or share it with friends easier. Basically what happened was they just asked, and the mod said, "No, dude, you're so cool that we're gonna let you break the rules." And I went, "Oh, swag." I had to quickly come up with the name because my YouTube channel, while it had the Boomer picture still, the exact one that I use to this day, it only was named Aiden. Aidan, my name. So I had to come up with something on the spot. At that point, Drobot was still my favorite Skylander. I thought about stupid names, literally just trying to steamroll something out fast, right? Because people were coming to my channel, and I can't really promote a channel that's called Aiden. So I thought of stuff like Dro Boy, and I went, no, that sucks balls. I can't do that. That sucks. And then I'm like, well, my picture's already Boomer. And I went, well, his catchphrase is bring the boom, which is kind of a dumb catchphrase, but let's just turn that into something else. Boombringer. There it was. It's simple as that. It didn't even take that long to create. It's just I needed something in a flash, and I went, well, Boombringer kind of has a nice ring to it, so we'll just go with that. And that was the how I came up with the name for the channel, which I am so happy that I came up with that name. Not that it's amazing or anything, but just the fact that it's not Skylanders or Skylands, because I just kind of get sick of when it's just I want to make Skylanders content, and then their name has Skylanders or Skylands in it, and I'm like, come on, guys! There is a newer guy that started out recently is Cloudbreaker, and his name is so much better because Cloudbreaker is this weird thing in Skylanders where it's just a prison. That's the name of the prison. But that's such a weird and obscure thing. It's most Skylander fans know that name is what that is. It's the prison, but it's a good enough and original enough name to be its own separate thing if it needed to, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing though about his name. Wasn't the name of the prison in Trap Team Cloudcracker Prison?
Was it?
Yup.
Oh, okay. So maybe
It might have been off of.
Gaslight.
Yeah, it might have been
I
off
might-
of the level and superchargers.
Huh. Okay, maybe I've been gaslighting myself. But either way,
Look at
I'm
who's
just saying.
providing misinformation.
Yeah, it's me now. Oh. No, but I don't know. I'm just happy that people are starting to pick more original names because, like Crypt is a good example. He's got a nice original name. It's almost just basically the car, but at least it's something different that doesn't have Skylanders or Skylands in it. But yeah, so that's how I started my channel, and I just kept posting it. I had a schedule for a while, which is crazy for me because we all know Boombringer does not have a schedule now. Boombringer just does whenever, whenever, whatever he wants. But for a while, Saturday and Sundays were scheduled as meme uploads. Most of the time, I get them done weeks in advance, and they were scheduled to come out. That's actually how they were set up. Usually, Saturday was the weaker meme if I thought one of them was particularly weaker than the other, because I knew Sunday would immediately come back and say, okay, well, Saturdays wasn't that good, but Sundays is way better. So, which not a lot of people know that actually Saturday and Sundays, if you go back to my older memes, you'll notice that they are uploaded exactly one day from apart each other because they were uploaded on Saturday and Sundays. Which I did that for a while. And then eventually, I had started to create all the memes necessarily that I wanted, that I just could come off with right up the top of my head, Not that it's saying I was running out of ideas, but I was just starting to come full circle to having everything I necessarily wanted to complete or do at that point. But I wasn't done because I wanted to get better at video editing, and I love video editing, and Skylanders is the entire reason I want to do video editing, because for a while I was going to college for animation. And after a couple of years of this, realized that this is not what I wanted to do with my life, which is one of the hardest things you can do when you're at college, because you basically just have to say all this time that you've been doing it, all this money that you've been spending is worthless. And it's been all for nothing. And that was a hard thing to admit. And I think I literally figured that out pretty early on, but I just kept going, hoping that it would get better eventually. I kept going, and I never got better. And at some point, I eventually said, I don't love this, and I don't want to do this for my life. And I looked over at my YouTube channel, and I noticed, I love doing this. This is something I just do in my own free time, and I teach myself just because I love doing it. And I said, why don't I just go into film? So now I'm in film, which obviously isn't necessarily just video editing, but it's a part of it. Because obviously there are many parts to filmmaking, so I hope that I can get more towards the actual editing side. But right now I'm in college for film, and I'm having a lot of fun with it because at art school, I've noticed people are full of trauma, and I'm fortunately not one of those people. I had a pretty good childhood. I had parents that cared for me deeply, and I just played Skylanders all day. So,
And I'm gonna. Oh, you're talking?
yeah, sure, go for it.
Okay. Well, I'm going into college next year, right? As a 15-year-old, which is kind of crazy, but I'm literally young Sheldon.
Outstanding achievement.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressive.
Literally young Sheldon right here. But anyways,
he's literally young Sheldon.
I'm trying to figure out right now what would be best for me, because right now it's actually video editing and filming, mainly because I want my Adobe products for free.
Of course. Well, I will say this. Usually if you go to college, you will usually just get Adobe products regardless of what degree. Most of the time, it's very iffy, but when I go to art school, right? Even animation, we need Adobe Premiere to edit our animations once we're done with them and add titles and stuff like that. So I guess it might be dependent, but most colleges will offer Adobe stuff for free, which is very nice because it's expensive.
Very.
Yes.
The next thing is I was thinking about going into a computer science field. That's one of the reasons why is Jesse is actually in there right now, and
Okay. Nice.
it'd be nice to have places to get all my books for free. You know what I'm saying?
Very, very.
But the tech field doesn't interest me as much as it does him. I just don't feel like there's much of a passion for me. Although I love the tech-oriented stuff, especially in this community, and I'm willing to, like, know the basics, I just don't think I could go in and learn every itty-bitty detail.
Yeah, you see, here's the thing, too. There's, like, if you, like, Skylanders, like, reverse engineering, right? There's not, like, that's interesting, obviously, to us, because we like Skylanders, but I wouldn't say, you might be interested in that, like, specifically, like, related to Skylanders, or something that you really like. But I will say, not all the time will you be interested in it as a job.
Right.
So, just be wary of that, because I feel like most people can figure that out literally right before they get into it, but they throw themselves into something just because they feel pressured that they need to do something. And I am 100% have felt that way before. So make sure you're picking something, because originally when I was talking to like the advisor, they were like, okay, do you want to do film or do you want to do animation? And I said animation just because I said I wanted to learn something new since I had already taught myself so much about editing. And I thought, oh, so I'll have these two great skills. But it ended up, don't try to be a jack of all trades, is my personal take, which some people might disagree. But I say focus on that one specific thing that you like. Hone into that, which not everybody's going to figure that immediately. I didn't figure out what I wanted to do until I went to community college, and then I went to actual, like, real big boy college afterwards. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. And also, remember, I know not everybody has the same financial situation, but if you don't like what you're in, don't be afraid to leave it, because this is your life, and it's very, very important that you do something that you want to for the rest of your life. So if you realize that you don't end up liking what you're doing, it is important for you to actually, you're going to go through all the stages of denial and grief and yada yada, but make sure you're honest with yourself, which is the most important thing you can do.
Mr. Philosophical over here.
Hey, well,
Honestly.
I only say that through personal experience.
And it's good advice. You see, with me, switching something like that wouldn't be as tough. All
That's
of my
good.
education is completely paid for. And
Oh yeah, I forget you're a genius. Never mind.
No. Not just because I'm a genius, but because my dad was a member of the military. He served and fought in Iraq.
Okay.
So, because of his military benefits, I do get most of my education for free. There are some things like the textbooks and stuff that I have to pay for unless, Jesse over here clutches up and shows me all the little websites.
Oh yeah, there's websites I can show you for sure.
Yeah. So
that I've used. And I wish I knew about them sooner, because then I wouldn't have wasted money on textbooks that I only needed for one class.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Buying books, I will say personally, I don't think I buy a book, and I think I open it once, like the first class, and then I never looked at it ever again. Got through the class, though, so.
hell yeah.
Yeah, so that's, I'm not much of a reader, I guess, is the moral of that.
I'm not much of a reader either.
I can't.
I blame ADHD. That's my excuse, so.
To be fair, I will sit down and read a long book as long as it's something I'm already interested in. So if they made a full-on novelization of Skylanders, you bet I'm reading the whole thing. But
I used to be, ironically, used to be a big book reader. 5th grade, same year as Skylanders. Reading all the Magic Treehouse, reading Hunger Games and stuff like that. After that, I don't know. I've just never been into books. I guess video games, I might be a little bit addicted. So,
but you make money off of it, so.
Yeah, a little bit. But let's be real. I haven't produced that many long videos, and all the meme stuff have copywritten stuff, so I don't really produce that much.
Just wait for Sniper. Oh, dude, you're gonna be rolling in the Benjamins.
Well, we'll see. I hope with Sniper. Sniper's like the one project. It's like one of these days, Sniper will come out. Hopefully this summer. I keep telling myself, because here's the thing, Sniper could actually come out fairly soon if it was only Sniper. It would 100% be done soon, but I tell myself, and this is almost any artist when they're creating anything, is you almost try to be 100% perfectionist on everything, and you realistically just can't do that. And that's the problem because there is no time limit when making something like this. This is 100% just in your free time, for fun.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with the Sniper, which I'm 100% happy that, there's no time limit. So it's like, well, now I get to spend as much time and perfect it as I want. But that's the problem is realistically, it would never come out if it was, I'll be like, oh, that take's not good enough. I need another take, or I need to fix that word. Or this edit's not funny enough. Or this edit doesn't need to be here. Delete it, even though I spent hours doing it. Which I have done. I literally did an edit towards the battle mode section of Sniper, and I just deleted it. I didn't like it. Because it just wasn't needed. I was like, this edit isn't needed. You just did a joke like 5 seconds ago. You can't stack jokes upon jokes. You can't do that. I know you have ADHD, Aiden, but it just doesn't work if you do that. So that's the problem with just making something like that is I'm learning from the template video, which you might know that I think it's a decent enough video, right? It covers most of the bases of what you would want to know based on him. But you'll notice there are sometimes awkward pauses. That's because template. The reason it was done so fast is because the actual gameplay you're seeing, I'm talking over and doing that at the same time. I didn't do the gameplay and then record over it. They're both done at the same time for the most part.
That's something I do, which isn't professional, but at the same time, it's just so easy.
So I haven't done that for Sniper. Getting all the cool camera angles, and now that I have Giants debug, either whether it be on Cemu through Wii U or on the Xbox 360. I can do custom camera angles for Debug Minion, and that's the thing. If I didn't do Debug Minion, Sniper would be done pretty fast. Because Sniper is almost done, which I say that almost every time. But it's true. Sniper's battle mode segment literally needs one more thing added onto it. And then it would just be miscellaneous bugs. And then it would be, what is this guy? Explaining a little bit, theorize on what he would be, and then the video's done. That's it. And ironically, though, the Sniper video I think is at 24 minutes, so Sniper himself might end up to be 30 minutes, not counting Debug Minion, which is a lot more than I actually thought it was going to be. Which is pretty cool because I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is long. Which it's going to be so gratifying when it comes out. It's going to be awesome. But I've 100% dedicated myself that Debug Minion will be in the video too, because I don't want that. My timeline's a mess for that video, and I am not going back and changing anything about it because in the early parts I talk and set this whole thing up to be Skylander Giants hidden characters, not this one random character. There's only two really, in the final product. There's Sniper and Debug. But I am 100% want this to be just have both of them in it. So I'm dedicated to having it be the vision that I originally set it out for it to be.
Yeah.
But I am learning, not everything can be perfect and not everything can be as amazing as you want it to be. That's why currently I'm working on this little Xbox Skylander fact video that will be released decently soon. It's towards the tail end of its production now. Just need to talk about 2 more things and then, plug my Fortnite creator code that nobody knows exists. Blow everybody's ears out with the Xbox 360 mic, and then end the video. That's all I gotta do. So I feel that everybody needs to have their ears blown out by the Xbox 360 microphone at least once in their life. Because I know not everybody grew up with an Xbox 360 and specifically an Xbox 360 online. So I'm giving that to people. Which also, I know this is probably something that I shouldn't discuss right now, but unfortunately, I don't think because I was gonna hopefully be able to give these files back to the community, but I tested them since my cousin's 360 was over, and I was able to move them over to the hard drive, but I don't think I literally can select any of them. Like, I can't select the gamer picks without my account being signed in, and I can't select the theme and actually apply it without my account being signed in, and I can't select the avatar props for their profile. So I think it's going to be kind of a bust when it comes to giving back the files to the community. I think I still will attach the zip in case someone wants to like reverse engineer them or crack them. Or I don't know. Somebody can figure out.
Yeah, but also remember, you do have a modded 360, and you might be able to decrypt them yourselves or like yourself.
It's true, and which I'll need to look into that a little bit more personally. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just I hope that I can get that out because it's an interesting. It's not really the most exciting video because it's literally talking about PNGs for the most part. But it's so weird and niche, and that is the exact type of content that I want for Skylanders. Like, all the other big Skylanders dudes, why aren't they talking about, why didn't they talk about template? That's cool and interesting. Why aren't they talking about Sniper and Debug Minion? Why aren't they talking about all this cool hidden content? Even, Skylander Deer is a better editor, in my opinion, when it comes to actual just video editing. I think I am better at entertaining editing because of memes, because I'm just chronically a shit poster. The ADHD demands it.
He said also, another bad word.
But also keep in mind, it feels like that pretty much everyone else right now is on the Ultimate Nightmare bandwagon.
Really?
I don't know. It's just I feel like with the Skylanders YouTubers I'm subscribed to, in my subscriptions, I feel like I'm seeing them make Nightmare Run videos or Nightmare Nuzlocke videos all the fucking time.
That's true. I mean, that's it. Yeah, but is it necessarily Ultimate Nightmare?
Not Ultimate Nightmare. I
didn't
just Nightmare Nuzlocke.
Though. I don't think I pioneered that though.
No, I don't think so. But it's just everyone's been making content on that lately. It's just I feel like you're one of the few other people, one of the only people in the community who's making notable content.
You mean Jesse? Come on.
Oh,
but
I see how it is. You asshole.
I was a little confused for a second, but now I understand. Yeah. Well, that's because here's the thing. I've explained it a million times before. I make the stuff not because other people listen. I love reading the comments. It is absolutely if you add a comment, I more than likely will see it and I will read it, whether it be positive or negative. I will read it.
Did you read my comment from earlier?
I did.
Did you check DMs?
I did.
Okay, good.
That's
the best way to get a hold of you then.
Oh no, I check DMs all the time. I just don't.
I see how it is. I'm just not important to you.
No. Here's the thing, but everybody's equally not important when it comes to DMs with me because I go, I don't really feel like I'll respond to it later, and then I don't respond to it ever.
Bro procrastinates responding.
I do. I am a humongous procrastinator. Why do you think nothing ever comes out? Which I can't even believe that's... I think that's just the course of content creation is...
Lost Times FAQ video.
You crank out stuff in the beginning because, this is your first time doing it. And you slowly, come to a stop. Not because necessarily, you don't necessarily want to make stuff anymore, because I do. But it's you've kind of burnt yourself out, but not at the same time, because I still obviously have my big projects that I'm working on. But like I've said, as you keep building a reputation and building yourself up, you want to do better and better, and then that's why it slows down production time, because you have a higher standard for yourself, because I make the videos for myself. Don't make them for other people as much as I love the comments. I make them for myself because nobody will make the cool Skylander videos, and I just
Are you calling this whole podcast not cool? I see how it is.
Well, no, I wouldn't have come on to it. You see, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Also,
That's funny.
remember, yap bringer. I'm a yapper, and I love yapping.
Yeah, that's like one of the biggest reasons why I wanted you on first, but obviously you had stuff going on, right? But I wanted
Yeah.
you on because not only is it a whole bunch of content, but like I just gotta milk all the Skylander tubers for content, you know what I'm saying?
And it's very fair. Like I've said before, I have no problems. As I've matured and grown, I feel fine doing collaborations. Not usually video collaborations, but if as long as it's like a live stream or it's live, it's unedited, it's raw, and I'm fine with doing that because I would love to give people boosts or help if I can. Because as I've explained earlier and before, I never got any help when making my making my YouTube channel. I never got any shout outs or anything. I remember I had like this weird background war. It wasn't really a war, but people knew for a while I didn't really like Crash the Skylands. And this is a big Boombringer lore
Mr.
drop.
Bitmoji.
But the reason why I didn't like Crash the Skylands that much was because I think he had a video come out, right? And it was with, I think, Jap something. I think 28. I think that's what it is, Jap 28. But it was like a Skylanders awards show for Skylander content creators. And this was like during my rise. I think I had 7,000 or 10,000 around this time when this came out. And I was not mentioned in that video a single time.
Hey, you know what? I feel the same way about the Skylander dude. He made that whole exposing content creators, and I wasn't on it. I'm just joking.
Hey, maybe one day. Maybe one day. You're gonna build yourself up. Trust me. Use that anger. Be like a Sith and build that anger. Use it. No, but basically, that's why I actually didn't like Crash the Skylands for a while. Wasn't because he specifically really did anything to me, but I just felt unrecognized when I feel like I did so much work. And it's not that, again, he didn't really do anything, but I felt so bad because I had worked so hard. And it's not like I didn't work for nothing, because obviously for a while, or I guess kind of now, I'm one of the biggest Skylander content creators now, like actively, you know? Mm-hmm. Technically Crypt, a couple of days ago, for the first time, and I think honestly a year or so, I've been beat. Because the thing with Crypt is he has longer content, which gets him more views. Which I love Crypt, so good for him. I hope that the big project that he's working on eventually comes out, just like mine. But yeah, no, I want to see what the hell? Oh, I think it was called a Breezy. That's what it was. They said the annual Breezy Award, and they never did another one again. That's what the Crash the Skyland one was. And all the people I think that they nominated in that video, I think Crash was in there, or not Crash, Crip was in there, and I can't remember because it's been a while, but I think literally every single other person that's in that video either A, doesn't make Skylander stuff anymore, or they're still not as big as me, which I know sounds egotistical, but the point being is, like, I felt hurt because I wasn't recognized. And I think it's funny because, you know, I paid off. But I learned and matured. I wanted to stay in my own bubble because I was hurt for such a long time. And I eventually grew out of it and just don't care anymore. Because
if it makes you feel better, I recognize you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I know that Aiden guy.
Yeah. He brings the boom. But, yeah, I'm very gracious, just because you know what, you grow up as a kid, and even as much as I give them crap, watching Skylar Boy and Girl, don't like them now, but I watched them Spyro. I guess there was no really Spyro era, but watched them Giants era, and that was about it. But you grow up and you see these people making content that's just like stuff you love, and you'd be like, man, that's what I would want to do, and I actually get to do that now. Which is ridiculous and awesome. Like, what? I can't believe that, I can live stream, which I know I've talked about this earlier. All my friends wanted to be the live streamers, IRL friends. I was the one that did not want to be the live streamer, and I became the live streamer just because of how much I love the thing that I talk about and how much I talk about it. Like, I just keep talking. Talk.
Yeah, this guy's doing it now.
I know, I'm the yap bringer. It's exactly what I do. But I think, that's kind of interesting. Just listening to some deranged guy on the internet just yap, yap, yap is kind of fun sometimes.
You know, you are as crazy as Boomer is in the game. So.
I know. Well, Boomer works really good as a mascot for the channel because the basis of the channel was
meme.
It still kind of is meme, Even with my longer stuff, it has memes. And he's a troll, which trolls are a humongous part of meme culture, so it worked perfectly. I could not wish for a better mascot. I just think it's funny when people think that Boomer is my favorite. I also think it's funner when they call me Boomer. I'm like, I'm not Boomer. I'm not the plastic toy. I'm a guy. I think that's one of the funniest things is when people come into my chat and call me Boomer. For a while it irked me because I'm like, come on guys, I'm not Boomer. But eventually, it's just the same thing with SkyTuber, which I don't like being called SkyTuber because I think that term sucks. It's like I don't go up to an IRL person that knows nothing about Skylanders and say, "So, oh, you do YouTube? What do you do?" "Oh, I'm a SkyTuber." They're not gonna know what the hell that means. What the hell is a SkyTuber? That term sounds corny as hell. Usually, how it starts is I say stuff about do you remember that old game that had the toys and you could put them on a portal and they'd pop up in the video game? And the conversation starts from there. They either say, yes, Skylanders, or, oh, I think I remember that. What was that called? And I say Skylanders or something like that. But, or maybe they've never heard of it and I explain it to them. But I just hate the term SkyTuber because I think it's so corny. And I know I go by the legal definition. I am a Skylanders content creator, and that's what I say every time. But, it's the same thing with the Boomer, being called Boomer. Every time I see it in the chat, I know it might irk me, but I've just like how collaborations, I've matured and realized it doesn't matter. I don't care what I'm being called because I know that person that's commenting that is more than likely doing it out of good faith. They're not doing it to frustrate me, which I know sounds weird that why would you be frustrated by that or something? But it's a truth that it's I think it's actually weird because a lot of Skylander content creators, the newer ones, they agree with me. They don't like being called SkyTuber. I know Mintiak for a while. I like to think that I helped Mintiak kind of get his start, and he does his little niche category that he loves doing, his texture packs and stuff now, which I'm very proud of him. But he doesn't like being called a SkyTuber. And I know that term will never be phased out. But I'm happy that at least someone else on the planet shares the sentiment that the term is corny. But I am still forever grateful for the position I've been given and the platform I have. Literally, because, just being able to, I get to live stream, and sometimes depending on what the live stream is, 100 plus people tune into that just for me to watch me play Skylanders. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. And just to listen to me yap about or me teach them facts, is always, or even talk to them, which is awesome. I am a little sad sometimes that my chat is actually as big as it is because small streaming is the best streaming. Not when there's nobody there and you're just talking to yourself. That kind of sucks. But when you have 5 or 4 people that you're talking to, it feels like a conversation. You get to talk back to them, and that's awesome.
That's true.
Yeah, but the problem is when you get a big chat. I remember talking to Trash about this. It's the ultimate nightmare and stuff like that. I can pick out comments at max. I can't talk to everybody. Especially also when it's ultimate nightmare when I have to lock in and focus because I'm trying to accomplish a run or a goal or a time or something. Most of the time it's not ultimate nightmare, so it doesn't matter. I can hopefully read as much as I can. But when it comes to chat messages and stuff, I feel so bad now because my chats are so large that I can't message and talk to everybody because of how grateful I am that they're spending time with me. They're sitting in that. What?
You sound like Markiplier back in the day because at one time he was he's saying that it was super sad because he was so big and he couldn't engage with each individual one. And he won't ever know each individual one, and it hurt him. I'm just kind of like this whole conversation kind of reminds me of that.
Honestly, I any comparison to Markiplier, I will graciously take. Because Markiplier is awesome. I haven't obviously watched his stuff in a long time, but I love Markiplier. He's just such a swell, awesome guy. So any comparison I get to him, I will take. But it's true. I love engaging with people, on the good old interwebs about the thing I love. And the fact that they come to, just to talk to me about that means a lot to me. And I'm very sad that I can't even sometimes when their question is you could consider silly or outlandish, I want to respond and talk to it. But I feel bad that I can't respond to every comment and stuff because I want to talk to them. Like I've been playing Skylanders with my cousin, and just being able to play it and show the things off that I love with them means a lot to me. That is the exact same thing as the chat messages because I know Shaggy's not in here right now, but literally just me. I know he was for a little bit, but even me just responding to Shaggy's message helped him get back and enjoy Skylanders and just have a good, wholesome time with it.
And he repaid that back by getting Richard Horvitz.
I know.
Chaos.
I know.
Hello.
For those who don't know, he basically Shaggy went to a convention and got to meet the voice actor of Chaos. And Chaos, shouted out and said a bunch of Skylander content creators' names. And I remember, I was at the breakfast table, and that's when I was pulling up, and my mom told me to turn it down, and I started crying, which I feel bad saying that as a 23-year-old man, but it's true, I did. And she thought it's because I was in a bad mood, and she told me to turn it down, but I told her, teary-eyed that it wasn't because she told me to turn it down, because I knew exactly what it was before I clicked on it. The video hadn't even played, and I knew exactly what it was. And I was bawling because I was so thankful and so grateful that I could have any bit of a positive impact on total strangers that I could then call friends. And that was just unbelievable and meant something because if I do nothing else in my life, at least I know that I had a positive impact on a couple people, 100 people, 1,000, whatever it be, whether it be small and it be one other person. It would have been for something good. And that means a lot to me.
Yeah. This actually kind of reminds me of when we first met, whenever Jesse was helping you get Lost Island set up. Just meeting you for the first time, being able to talk with you until 4 a.m, it meant so much to me because I've been watching you since 2021 or whatever time it was. And being able to meet somebody who I looked up to because, I wanted to go into Skylanders content creation. I didn't know where to start, but you, Crypt, and a couple other people, obviously, were very much an inspiration for me. And being able to meet one of my inspirations was very interesting. And I'm glad that from where we came almost a year ago, I didn't even know you, and, we were, and now we're just, we're bros,
Yeah, no, and that's the thing, and again, meeting the Chaos voice actor, I know I say it's silly, because, obviously, I just make silly Skylander videos and stuff like that, so it's I would love to literally have a sit down and talk upon hours to every single person that presses the subscribe button, because I probably could, because everybody has a different story, and I would love to listen to their story, and then me tell my story, 30,000 times, because I would do it.
Yeah, but, look where you're at now.
I know. I remember I did one podcast earlier. I don't even remember what I talked about in that podcast, but I'm sure I talked about
Boomcasters or whatever.
I don't know. It was the one that was it called Podcores or something? I don't remember what it was.
Maybe.
But I did one earlier. I don't remember what it was called though. But I don't know. I'm just very grateful, and the fact that he did that for me, and I have a soundbite of the Chaos voice actor saying "Boombringer." Is
I don't
really
think you have the soundboard on because I just played it a couple of times.
No, I don't have the soundboard on because I think during one of the Ultimate Nightmare runs, I just turned it off and forgot to turn it back on. But it's just don't like going to conventions because most of the time I'm not much of a cosplayer or whatever. I like putting work into stuff, but my stuff that I put work into is my video stuff. I don't like put into physical material. I don't do that. And I would like to look around, but I know the things that I like are weird and niche, and more than likely I won't find them there. Like two of my friends that I live with in the college house, they went to a convention and they looked all over for anything Skylanders related. Not because I asked them to, just it's like if they wanted to bring me back a gift because I don't necessarily want a Digital Circus plush or a Has Been Hotel plush or a Five Nights at Freddy's plush. As much as funny as Freddy Fazbear is, I'm not I'm not into Undertale. I don't want all the stuff that mostly those conventions are filled with. I want my Skylanders, and I want to just buy keeping tons of them, and I love them to death. And I know those conventions mostly won't offer anything I want, and even meeting my heroes like Chaos is horrifying, even though he is just a person. And more than likely, he is going to be exactly like how when you just met me, we're just people. But the problem is, I'm a yapper, like I said. And if I met somebody like a voice actor, I would want to tell them exactly what they mean to me and what they've done for me, regardless if we've never interacted before. Just like how I've been able to do for other people, which I just can't even believe. And I'm so thankful for that I have any positive impact on anybody. But that's the problem with the convention. There's somebody standing else behind you in the line, and I just can't, tell them and have a nice hour-long conversation with them, just as a person to person. I can't do that. And most of the time it will just come off as awkward. Not that I'm necessarily awkward myself, because I actually think I'm a pretty good people talker. It's just mostly I won't be able to tell them all that they mean to me. And that's why conventions aren't for me, but I am graciously forever happy, for anything anybody does for me, like how Shaggy did. Even though I can sit here and say how much it means to me for hours, I'll never be able to express it with words.
Well, am I cool because I did something for you? I gave you the sleigh gun.
That was very awesome. I did enjoy that. Dude, I was so upset when they were like, hang on, your run might be invalidated because you got the sleigh gun. And I'm like, no. The sleigh gun's awesome.
It is.
Don't you try to take this away from me.
Ooh, another thing. I made that dark drill sergeant. You never used it.
I haven't used it yet. Remember they were saying, for future reference, don't do that or whatever. And I said, okay. And I'm like, Shojiki might not be able to do it. But I don't really care about that anymore. So if I go back and do that drill sergeant run, we're 100% doing it with the texture mods. I just have to, and I don't care what the texture mods are. The whole place could be texture modded for all I care. But I'm just a little burnout right now, because live streams are nice and convenient because I can do them and they're only a couple of hours.
Especially when I'm on them.
Yeah, and I can still do live streams occasionally up at the college house, on a day off or something. Especially now, because the nice thing is I'm taking an extra year in college, so I don't take as much classes, so I have more free time. But right now I'm focusing on my bigger projects because I just want to be able to crank out kind of content that I have never been able to crank out before. I'll talk about it a little bit now because, not that many people have heard about it. I've kind of kept it hush-hush. The Xbox content video. It's nothing crazy. It's literally just, I say, hey guys, let's talk about these cool gamer picks, themes, and avatar props that don't get talked about a lot. Because literally Googling them, you find the Swap Force gamer picks, but you can literally Google Skylanders Trap Team gamer picks, and they don't come up at least immediately. You might be able to find them through digging, through gamer pick resources and stuff like that. But just Googling them on their own doesn't come up, and that's how niche and varied they are. Like the Superchargers. Thank you.
Googling.
Googling.
Okay, alright.
But I don't know. I don't think you can. Let me Google. Hang on. It's time to Google.
It's
Let
time
me
to
do some
Google.
Skylanders hot streak prop. Say, will anything come up? I almost said it. I don't see anything. I mean, I'm sure I could find something if I dig hard enough. But the point being is, yeah, okay, Ball Guys tell me the model's online, so at least that's there. But I'm saying, just a normal Google, it's not there. It's not like on the top images or anything.
Right.
And, I have the power now, which is, I know, cheesy and kind of crazy to say, but I grew up with Skylanders and was the right age to remember almost everything. So I was old enough, at least. And I have all these weird niche things on my hard drives and facts in my head that, I just know from playing them so much or experiencing them as they were coming out. So just talking about this awesome, weird niche content is just something that, means a lot to me, because even if you grew up with Skylanders, but let's say you were a PlayStation guy. You played Skylanders on the PlayStation throughout the entire thing, and you were a super fan. You will not know that there are exclusive gamer picks, themes, and props for the 360. You just won't. Because that's a whole side of it, because most people, normal people, of course, I have a lot of video game consoles, but most people, normal people, don't have like every single video game system and have several copies of the same game on different consoles,
Actually,
I'm lucky.
Funny?
What?
I had the 360, literally the entirety of the Skylanders career or whatever, and I didn't even know about a lot of the Avatar stuff until recently.
Yeah, you see, even people that have the stuff might not know about it. Like, because a lot of people that played Skylanders 2 were like, they were offline gamers, so they probably not everybody saw it. Even online ones probably didn't see it, because if you didn't see the tiny advertisement in the corner saying, look, free Skylanders stuff, then you wouldn't have got it. And it's just like, wow, that's crazy. I don't know. It's just like bringing that weird niche content to the public is just really cool. And I don't think I have that much passion, like the closest thing, ironically, that I feel about, like, passionate wise, is actually Fortnite, believe it or not. Fortnite got me through high school, and it's the game I still play today, which I know is not Skylanders related at all, but I love Fortnite dearly, and that's why it's like, Fortnite kind of went through its, like, hate train phase for a little bit, where everybody hated it, and I loved it the entire way through. And that Skylanders is the same way. When it was coming out, the only people that were commenting about it for the most part were either families who loved it, or, Spyro fans that were now grown up enough and probably in their 20s or something, saying they hated it because it wasn't Spyro. And that hurt me a lot as a kid, because, I was like, but what's wrong with it? It's great. It's awesome. And now I get to talk about how cool and how awesome it is. Because a lot of kids' games, when you're growing up, they're cool, but then you grow up and realize the game kind of sucks. Like, okay, hot take, all right? I don't enjoy Lego Star Wars as an adult. I don't think the game is fun. It's a baby game that has no consequence for failure.
Are you serious right now?
I am. You lose studs. That's it. That's the consequent failure. But you know what? That's fine, because it's a kid's game and it's made for 10-year-olds. And if you get enjoyment out of it when you're 23 or something, good for you. That's awesome. And I played Lego Star Wars so much as a kid that I figured I must love it when I booted up. And I played it, and I'm just so bored by it. But Skylanders is different. I still think it's engaging and fun enough. The difficulties on most games, keep it engaging even for older fans, Even Spyro's Adventure, which doesn't have difficulty, is just so relaxing to sit through, have 8 or so characters that are reset and just play through the game, going through the gates, collecting hats, getting money, getting upgrades, leveling up. It's just relaxing. It's fun.
Yeah.
And it's not like Spyro's Adventure is that much of a challenge, but I feel like it's more of a challenge than something like a Lego game. And I know some people, more casual people, probably love Lego games, but it's for me. I'm happy that I get to enjoy Skylanders so much because I spent so much time as a kid, and being able to still have that passion as an adult is something that's awesome for me because little young Aiden is still inside me, and he's like, remember all those cool ideas you had when we were little? Well, guess what? You get to do them now because you never lost that passion, which is phenomenal. Like, I've listed off my video ideas before because I have a whole list. I remember Noah literally said to me, because we talk about video editing and stuff like that, because he does variety content and I stick to my weird niche. Because he asked me, he was like, Aiden, you have your sniper video, but what's after that? And then I proceeded to go on, Yap Bringer, just to try to go on a rant saying, well, there's plenty for me to do. 100 facts about Skylanders you didn't know. Exploring SSA XPEC debug menu. The Skylanders game everybody played, but nobody remembers. SSA XPEC, the underrated Skylanders series I wanted to start. Skylanders on Switch is horrible. Imaginators review. Bull Train. Superchargers is an underrated masterpiece. Skylanders Snooze Force Swap Force review. Skylanders Imaginators review. How it's the worst one. The beauty of Skylanders music. The weird world of Skylanders on Xbox, which is the one I'm working on. Template Legacy, Vine Up, Heartbreaker, Buckshot, Skylanders Giants, Alphas, Hidden Characters, Skylanders Weird PC Port, etc., etc. The ideas are there. Even if my videos are taking longer to make, I still have the passion and ideas to make them. And I remember he was like, okay. I finally got to put in a word after I go on a hour something rant, right?
I'm waiting for my moment too.
I know, exactly, because I'm a yapper. And
I'm completely fine with that. That's mean more content for me, you know what I'm saying?
It's true. But yeah, no, it's just like, okay, you proved to me. You still got ideas. Because, he doesn't want to do you fall into a niche because, I've done like a Fortnite stream or something and it didn't do specifically that great, which is fine. Because I realize as much as I love Fortnite, I don't like streaming it. I really don't. But at least I have that one experience, and now I got, it was still fun when I did it.
Yeah.
But
you'd also know that me and Jesse would stream snipe you, just to be a dick.
Well, I think everybody was going to try to stream snipe me. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, I'm happy that I don't get bored of Skylanders. I get to explore these weird little niche things that most people probably never thought about or can't have access to. Like, literally SSA XPEC debug, even most of the reverse engineer guys who are like geniuses, and I'm lucky that I'm on their side, don't get to explore that because it's such a weird niche. You need a modded Xbox 360 to do that because you can't even do it with a 360 emulator because you need the portal and it doesn't support Xenia or whatever the 360 emulator is. Doesn't support USB input, so you can't do Skylanders. It's like at least yet. So I have all this cool stuff that I think most people would probably be interested.
I'm very interested. I'm trying to mod my 360.
I know,
but you need a hardware mod it.
It's true. I just bought one, but it's just like there's all these cool topics that isn't Skylanders top 10s, and why is nobody talking about them? I get it. We are talking about a niche video game series that doesn't get any. It doesn't even get Funko Pops. It gets nothing. Okay, but it's so cool, and I want people to explore that side of it, but nobody will. So I do it to show everybody else how cool it really is.
Right. And I'll do it myself.
It's true. I absolutely the Thanos like I'll do it myself is my mentality. Literally when I make my videos because I know I say it like over and over, but nobody makes the content I want to watch. That's why when people are like, oh, do you have another Skylander content creator that you watch or enjoy? And I'm like, I think they're all great guys, but I don't watch their stuff. I don't. Because they don't talk about really anything I'm interested. A couple of the reverse engineering guys, sometimes they post a video, I might watch that because that's actually cool and entertaining and interesting. I don't need to know, top 10, I don't know, like Skylanders you should have, or top 10 most expensive Skylanders for the most part. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just random like top 10 lists. And I'm like, that's so boring. Do something else. It just gross, disgusting. You know, like come on. I want to know about Skylanders PC port. Tell me about it. I want to know. That's interesting. Not everybody gets to access that. Why are all the buttons like weird? They're not PC buttons in there. It's like the icons are like sun logos and stuff. So I don't know what the hell button I'm supposed to press on the keyboard. I just have to press them all. I want to talk about that. That's weird. That's cool. But nobody else wants to talk about that. You know, like I want to talk about, the rise and fall of Whamshell. I want to talk about how Whamshell on XPEG just obliterates everything, and on Wii he's pretty good, and then in Giants he just gets worse, and then in Swap Force he gets even worse potentially. It's like I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how Jetpack has, alpha, like his alpha, he has completely different moves. You know, he has like the Hawk Fu moves and stuff like that, and how that is like would make Jetpack 100% better, but they didn't keep that in the game. I want to talk about that. That's cool. It's way better than top 10, scariest Skylanders for Halloween or something.
Or not only that, but there's like a couple of them that are like, which Skylander you should buy in 2020, or like, I'm not trying to clown on Deer because this is a lot of his content too, but like, I love Deer. He's awesome.
Yeah,
but,
we love Deer. Well, that's even like, here's a thing that I like to think of, and I tell Noah all this time, right? I love competition. I do. And I really hope someone catches up to me so I can get my butt in gear more, because I haven't really had much competition. I have just sailed on through for the most part and just, excuse my language again, sat on my ass because I don't have to, there's no competition. You know? Terrapog was my OG competition, and I love him dearly, but I blew past him almost too fast. Because then there was no competition for me. Because I made Skylander memes and no one else did that, and then I said, okay, well then let's
broaden the horizons.
Broaden horizon, yeah, and let's just consider every Skylander content creator as competition. And I beat them all for the most part, except Crip, which he's like we're like right next to each other.
Well, yeah, you got Skylander boy and girl. That's your next target.
Yeah, that's true.
But don't worry.
Ironically,
I'm gonna catch up to you.
I genuinely think the channel would do really well if Skylanders was still an ongoing thing. I think I really could do well.
Oh, definitely.
But
I think we'd all be like in the hundreds of thousands.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Which I'm still fine with Skylanders being the way it is. It's like my weird, cool niche thing that it's like this exclusive club that I'll invite anybody into if they want to learn or know anything about it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I've had the time of my life doing Skylanders content. I have so much plastic in my room. It's unbelievable. Like, I am happy that I live, in Kansas instead of by the ocean, because if we ever had a flood and those things got taken to the ocean, the fish would be dying for years. And
don't scare me like that.
I know.
I live on the coast.
Well, I have tornadoes, so we have to deal with that.
Well, skill issue, I guess.
Yeah, it is a skill issue. But, I just am forever grateful, and just, I get to talk about these cool things, and I don't have competition. Like, the Sniper video, yeah, there's other people that have talked about Sniper, but it's usually pretty briefly, and the showcase is like a minute long or something. My showcase of Sniper is going to be like 25 to 30 minutes long.
Okay.
No one goes in depth like that, which I don't like to toot my own horn, but that's what I want to see. That's exactly. I want to know everything about this guy. I want to know how much damage he does. I want to know what the announcer says when he wins. Like, does he use a file swap voice line? Which, spoiler, he does. But or does he have a specific thing? Like, what are all the what does the Oracle have to say about him? Which is just another file swap thing. But you get the point. I want to know all that stuff. And I don't know. Most people don't cover in depth like that.
You know what I think we should do?
What?
I think at some point, if there's ever something interesting, like Birthday Ben Starcast, if you ever wanted to make a video on him, which I think would go absolutely insane, right? I would think it would be cool to kind of do a race to not only see how fast we could get it out before each other, but also have as much, or if not more, details about it than each other.
The only problem with that one specifically is I can't talk that much about it because I don't have it. Because
have Sniper?
kind of in a technical sense.
Oh, you have
Because-
Taylor's.
Yeah, well, yeah, I do. And here's the thing about Sniper is he doesn't have a normal physical form, but he's also unique in game. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I summon Starcast, I could be lying and that could be a clear Starcast and you wouldn't know the difference.
Yep.
Because the whole point of what makes him interesting is his figure. Where Sniper, there is no figure, and his in-game appearance and what he does in-game is what makes him so interesting.
Yeah.
And that's the only problem with that, is because all the Skylander collectors gatekeep where they get stuff, and they just gatekeep everything so no one else can have
Hey,
anything.
I think we have one of those guys in this server, but I'm not gonna call names.
But still, whatever. But yeah, no, I remember I was saying one of the things that's really cool, even if somebody has, like, I'm not the most amazing editor, right? Skylander is way better at editing than me. But one thing that everybody lacks, that most people don't have, is knowledge. And that's something I have. I have the knowledge and the resources to do it, and that will forever be my strongest component.
I graduated at 15.
That's true. But you didn't know about all the Xbox avatar props and jibber jabber.
Damn.
Yeah, but do you know
Well,
what
you might
1
be a
plus 2
genius.
is?
But do you know about the hot streak prop? Well, now you do. So, I don't
Okay,
know,
but do
that
you know
will
what
forever
1 plus
be-
2 is?
that one, you might got me beat on that one.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I don't know. One of my greatest allies is actually just, don't want to roast anybody, but interesting topics.
Yeah.
So I'm just forever grateful that I get to be in the spot that I am and talk to the people that I do, and whether it be I inspire people, which I can't even believe I get to say that, or just communicate. Which for a while I didn't want to be in a community. I wanted to do my own thing because I did do it for myself, and I built myself all up from scratch.
Wait, is that a Walter
But,
White reference? I did it for myself. I like
It's
it.
true. That is
and I was good
100%.
at it. I was.
That's 100%.
Alive.
I'm not gonna say I'm Walter White because that means I'm a horrible person that does drugs.
Huh.
But
He doesn't
that is
do
it.
drugs. He
Oh yeah,
deals the
yeah, he
drugs.
makes
Come
them.
on, get
He
it right.
makes the drugs.
And
Yeah.
we got Jesse in here, so like
It's true. You just
we
need a
got the
wolf.
duo. No, that's you,
But
because you're
That's
cooking
true, I'd
up
be
some
cooking.
pretty. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like that is 100%. One of the things I like about Breaking Bad is that mentality. That is 100% so realistic that it's awesome. And that's just how it comes to creating stuff. Most of the time, you do it for yourself. And
He said
that's exactly. It's true, I did. But yeah, that's 100% why I do it for myself. I mean, I can continue to rant, but I'm going to let you guys actually talk for once.
Thank you.
I know. You're welcome.
Okay, so there's a few things that I wanted to discuss.
Okay.
One, you were talking earlier about both you and your niece and playing Skylanders. It was your niece,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Skylanders.
Yeah, cousin.
Or cousin, whatever, right? I want to send you both some pretty cool stuff, and I was going to. It's in the general chat, but I want to know if you guys would be interested. And obviously, you guys wouldn't have to pay for anything, but I want to send you guys some prototype Spyro stuff that I'm like cooking up.
Prototype stuff. How so?
As in, like, I'm making some like. I'm trying to please the original Spyro friends, right? So.
Friends?
Yeah.
Friends, I did say.
You mean the most ungrateful fan base of all time?
Oh, that video's coming up!
Oh!
No, I am telling you though. I think it's interesting because one of my greatest comparisons Actually, wait, no. I'm thinking of something else. I was thinking about how I'm one of the outliers that digs on Swap Force a lot, and how there's this weird vocal minority that I'm part of, that we like the non-jumping games more like Spyros and Giants. But I was about to say I'm gonna compare that to Halo. How Halo has sprint now, and there's people that's like, well, sprint's such a basic feature, and then people go, oh no, sprinting sucks. That doesn't belong in Halo. And it's the same thing with Skylanders, so it's like jumping. That's like the most basic mechanic ever. No jumping. But yeah, no, that has nothing to do with anything.
Alright.
I was getting confused with my topics.
There you go. Alright, let us yap now. But yeah, I know I would be so down to print a couple of these out and send them to you. Like, obviously they're going to be better quality than the one I showed, but I think it'd be pretty cool for you and your cousin.
Yeah, that would be very cool. Ironically, though, tell me if you end up actually finding, if this is hard for you to do, because we would 100% actually just take, the dirt cheap Skylanders, because her collection is so small. We would get so much value out of, literally the series, number 10, Series 2 Chop Chop, number 9, Platinum Sheep.
I have a whole bunch of duplicates. If you want me to send them to you, I would more than be down to, miss out on a couple of bucks and send them out to you guys.
Ironically, I'd be willing to just give you the money for them, because I know you're not going to scam me.
Okay.
But that's the thing is, I don't know. It's so hard for me to accept gifts, because it's just being able to talk to people is. And I know it's so cheesy, but that's kind of. I know
this guy stinks.
I know, but being able to talk to everybody and just be, is kind of its own gift itself. And I know that's so cheesy. I know.
I think you're about to pull up with. It wasn't about the goal. It was about the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, ironically, it really is though.
I'm about to put a bullet in your Skylander's head.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
No, you're good.
But no, I mean it. Because it's so hard for me to accept gifts. That's why. What do you think? Literally, just Shaggy doing that one thing, it made me cry. And literally, it was just I heard Chaos go Boombringer. That's it.
Boombringer,
and that made me cry. Exactly. It's so hard for me to accept gifts, because I'm like, do I really deserve this?
You deserve it from my perspective, because of all the things that you've done for me.
Sorry.
Whether it's having me on the live stream, that wasn't a big deal for you probably, but it was for me. Not only because hey, I get to write off this guy's success,
Oh yeah,
which is a tiny part. I will be honest that I'm doing that with a lot of people here, but
but hey man, cook.
Yeah, exactly. And I make some actually good content, but but my thing is kind of like you, I have no way to really express how much appreciation I have for the people around me. Like with you, dear, Shaggy, and all of them. Like you guys, even though what you guys do is not a big deal, for me personally, it means the world, because I'm able to share a common interest in a way that I've never had before, and it's so great. With
100%.
playing the original games, sure, I played all of them with my older brother, but I don't, it's not as, I wouldn't say it's not as memorable as, playing it with you guys, but it's, it was so long ago, and I do remember a lot of it, but not, everything. And I would love to play with the games with him again, and I would love that even more now than back then. But he's kind of in a situation, and for anybody curious, I will basically just make this brief. He tried to interview a baby before it was born, and that's all I'll say.
Okay.
As a joke.
No, not as a joke.
Oh, what?
But anyways, he's kind of in a facility now, and
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. I'd love to play Skylanders with him again, but he's kind of
unavailable at the current moment.
A little unavailable.
You see, that's why having a community for something, which, I know I say it all the time, it's it's the internet, you need to actually make some friends, but sometimes, literally for someone's health, being a part of something like this is actually sometimes good. I think there are certain points where it can become unhealthy. We've seen certain points and examples, especially in my Discord server, where I have to tell somebody to go touch grass, please. But I think sometimes this is it's a very great outlet to be able to talk to people with similar interests that you won't probably be able to find on the street because
Except for that one grandma.
Except that one grandma, that really cool grandma that sounds made up and I totally don't believe you about. And I need her to give me her green chompy mage.
You can ask Jesse, bro. She was there.
She's real. She was there.
Right,
we met her at the game store.
Grandma gaming with her green chompy mage. It's not fair, man. It's not fair. Oh well, but
I'm trying to get her to message me, but I think she may have lost the note.
Yeah, I will tell her, Mr. Boombringer, even though she won't know who the hell that is, needs to get her on a podcast so I can
That'd be so funny, bro.
I want to put her on the podcast. Grandma Gamer, bro.
Oh yeah, no, that's a peak gaming name.
Or
Grandma
Skylanders
Gamer.
Grandma.
Man.
No, remember, don't have anything involving Sky or Skylanders in the username.
That's true.
Okay, but like
Gaming Granny, man.
Gaming Granny.
It's gotta be good. It's gotta be unique.
Yeah, Gaming Granny kind of sounds like really fire though. Okay, but like, what about Skyland? Or no, not Skyland.
No,
I can't have that. Okay, Granny of the Air Element or some shit. I don't know, cause she high as fuck.
What?
But
She's
like,
not high.
You could easily come up with some like Skylander based names like Granite Granny or something.
Granite Granny, that goes crazy.
Yeah, like that came off the top of the head, but like, yeah, no, it'd be funny. But yeah, no,
Dark
that's
Granny.
The beautiful thing about a community, which I would have said I was a loser a couple of years ago. But I kind of am still a loser, but that's okay. I at least get to look cool on the internet. But at least communities are so nice for people that don't get to express, that with like, whether they don't be able to, like you say, you can't play it with your brother and express how much it means, to be able to share this bond, whether it be that, you like the gamer a lot and he likes it, or maybe he's playing it with you just for bonding experience. It doesn't matter. It's just like being able to share anything with somebody is so much. I mean, like when I'm playing it with my cousin, she even told me, she played a level by herself. She got stuck and actually wasn't able to complete it. It was the crypt level where it's really hard to see. Not that Spider's Adventure is that hard, but I understood her frustration and confusion for playing it the first time. She couldn't figure out there was a tiny like crevice you have to go into with the spiders and find the bomb. But
I remember
the point being is, I'm very proud of her for trying it by herself. That means that she enjoyed the thing she did with me enough that she would do it without me, which meant a lot because she enjoyed the thing that I introduced her so much that she wanted to do it on her own free time. She said when she had like a therapy session or whatever, and she told her therapist about Skylanders, and she told me that, and she said next time that she was going to bring one of her Skylanders to show the therapist. And that meant a lot to me because that meant that me just playing Skylanders with her meant a lot to her, as much as it meant to me. And that means astronomically, there was, I think, a time, I was offline a couple of days. That's just what we were doing. We were literally just offline, just bonding, playing Skylanders, which it's crazy because offline, I'm playing Skylanders. Online, I'm playing Skylanders. Skylanders, but it's Fortnite. Beautiful. Yeah, Fortnite. Also Fortnite. Yeah, I gotta max out my battle pass. I gotta get 200, man.
Absolutely. Every single season.
Every season, I'm telling you, I ironically think if Fortnite didn't exist, I'd make more content. Because Fortnite, it's like, here's the thing with like, an offline game. It's like you beat it and then it's done. There's nothing new. There may be occasionally come out with the DLC. Well, yeah, specifically with Skylanders, but I mean like any other.
Don't you mean
game.
Disney Infinity, Amiibo, and also Lego Dimensions?
I'm not doing all that stuff. I'm sticking to one. But I don't know. It's just like, yeah, Fortnite takes up a lot of my time because it's constant and always ever growing and updating. But because FOMO, fear of missing out. But Skylanders, the bond I share with just talking about it with people as I yap and I yap, or playing it with somebody means a lot to me. And, even playing through the games with her, I'm giving her literally figures for free just because I know they have a better home by me just giving them to her. And I know it means a lot to her, Even if she doesn't like all of them, like I've thought about not giving her Jetpack just because I don't think she would like Jetpack, but I ended up just giving it to her just so she would have that option if she wanted it. Plus, he unlocks a heroic challenge, and she likes heroic challenges. So,
They're tough, like me.
It's true. Which I enjoy playing the game with her because Andrew doesn't really he likes playing Skylanders with me, but he's not a collector in terms of he doesn't like getting all the treasure chests and going through and getting all the stars. That's something I've been able to do with Noah and my cousin, because they actually like taking their time. We're staying in this game world. We're going to make the most out of it. We're going to go through, we're going to do heroic challenges just for fun every once in a while, do arenas, and go through and get all the collectibles. That is something that I am forever grateful. And obviously playing with my brother, I still love doing that, but he just doesn't have the patience to do collectibles.
Hey,
but
you know what? I got you. I could be your little brother.
Oh, thank you. I greatly appreciate
But
it.
speaking about Noah, get him in here. I want to podcast with him.
Well, I could probably get him in here. He'd probably enjoy that. I'd have to ask him because he does say, one of the things is he's he wants to do whatever he wants when it comes to content creation, whether it be Wii Sports or this weird niche game that he found. He doesn't want to do specifically Skylanders, and one of the things he worries about is being stuck too close to Skylanders stuff is one of the things he worries about, which I understand. But yeah, I can ask him about
once you get into Skylanders, is one, you can't go back, or two,
Dude,
you can't make any more content because
he's spent so much money on Skylanders, and it's all my fault. But I've noticed I do that to everybody.
Yeah, you kind of did with me too.
I know. My passion rubs off on everybody, whether they like it or not. Because I swear, even my housemates. He talks about, man, I kind of want to play Giants because he hasn't played Giants yet. He only played the first one. And it's just because I talk about it so much, but I don't do it necessarily in an annoying way. It's just from, an actual passion of the heart. I think so. I hope so.
Well, you've been on here for 2 hours consecutively, and we haven't shutted you up yet. So, I mean,
I know. So, I'm grateful for the people that like to listen to me yap. So, but yeah, that means a lot to me, just playing the game with her right now. We're on Giants. We're going to go through all of them. Don't know what we're necessarily going to do when we get to Trap Team. I think I'll just have some Trap Masters on the side to open the gate, because I'm not buying her all the elements of the Trap Masters. That would suck.
Oh, but you'd be such an awesome cousin for doing that.
I also would be a broke cousin, too. So.
Well, what's the difference then?
That's true. What I do for the family, But yeah, Skylanders just means so much to me. That's why I was explaining earlier. It'd be hard for you to meet and talk to Chaos, because as much as he's passionate and he just seems like such a nice guy, I would never be able to tell him what his voice acting did in Skylanders for me. I would never be able. I wouldn't have the time in the world to explain it to him.
But you know what might make you feel a little bit better about meeting him?
What?
He's willing to stay after the convention closes to talk to people. He said this with Shaggy. So basically, what had happened was he wanted to ask him, "Hey, would you be willing to after all this? Would you be willing to?" Sorry, I can't. Would you be willing to? Would you be? Okay. Anyways, I know I say that all the time. Would you be willing? Would you be willing? Okay. Anyways, would you be willing to talk to a whole bunch of Skylanders content creators afterwards? And he said, I would love to, but after this, I have to go straight to my plane and go all the way back home. And he was talking about it, and he's like, okay, well, is there anywhere else we could meet you? And he's like, hey, man, I go all around the country. If you manage to catch me on one of the earlier days of a thingy, of a convention, then then there's a possibility there. And I think that'd be absolutely awesome if one of these days all of the skytubers, all the big ones, got into the same hotel room. Not only would that be crazy, but everybody went out, met Chaos, and then afterwards, everybody goes to an Italian restaurant afterwards and just has a long discussion with him.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Unfortunately, I don't think that will ever happen because we're all around that either A, we're all about to go into college or we're already in college. So if we're at this, I know. I would 100% try to do it if I can, though. But I would 100% love that. It reminds me back when I was like 16, right? Call of Duty Black Ops 3 had just came out. And literally all of the top dog zombie content creators rented a house, and it was called the Zomb House, and it was just them all living in the same house, and it was the coolest thing ever. And I know we'll never be able to do that with Skylanders, but
if I win the lottery, dude, I would invite everybody out. Like, I'm not even joking. Like,
I'm just saying it would be really cool. Just like that would be a whole different level of being able to just like bond over. Just the silly, awesome video game that's just about plastic toys coming to life in a video game.
Like, imagine like everybody in the house doing a big, giant consecutive eBay order or something, and then it all arrives on the exact same day, and then you just have a whole afternoon of tearing boxes open. Like, that just sounds amazing.
Awesome. I know. It makes me also think, more opportunities like that could happen if Skylanders ever came back, which I honestly kind of want to talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely.
I want to know, what do you guys think? Because I'm like one of those guys that like, I feel like people like, especially on the Skylanders Reddit, they're always like, oh, it's gonna come back, it's coming back, and then I always have to do damage control, saying, no, guys, that was fake, or no, we're gonna have to wait, guys, be realistic. But I really do think at some point Skylanders made too much money to stay dormant forever. I'm not saying that we're going to get, a whole reboot and a million kajillion games or anything, but I'm just saying Skylanders at least is going to get one remaster at some point in the future. Right. I feel like Skylanders has to get something. And I want your guys' opinion on that.
Jesse, do you want to go first, or?
Nah, you can go.
Okay, Jesse's always like this on these podcasts. He's always like, I don't want to talk today. But anyways, how I think it's going to go is same way that the Crash Bandicoot and Spyro games did.
Yep.
So basically, they did the remaster, and then they did the sequel right after. I think that's what they're going to do. But I think whenever that happens, instead of doing one sequel, they might do like a whole trilogy of sequels. And my reasoning why is because if you look at how much Skylanders has made, I forgot the exact number, but it's in the billions. What's funnier is in the 25-year run of Call of Duty, Skylanders has still made more in its 7 run.
Yeah, but we have to definitely, toys are part of that, and
oh yeah,
I feel like Skylanders. I think it's funny because all the time people in my comments are always saying, "So, when do you think Skylanders 7 is coming?" I'm like, guys. It's not. If anything, you're getting your remaster first. That is what you're getting. That only makes sense. And I explain it over and over and over. Because they're going to wait until the original audience, me or whether it be you, is old enough or around the age to have their own kids. And they're going to sell it to you again because your kid... You will pick it up for your kid knowing that game specifically is an awesome classic and you would want to play it with your kid.
And then you buy more. Yeah, that's a genius tactic.
That has literally been my that's when they're going to bring it back. 20th anniversary of Skylanders, which I know we still have a couple of years to wait for that, but that is when I think it would come back, if anything. Maybe 15th, but I still think 20th is because it's that means I will be in my 30s.
Which is crazy, because by the time it comes out, I'll be in my 20s, or maybe 30s, somewhere around that.
Yeah, so the thing is, I imagine that's when they would do it. Because that seems to be the cycle, honestly. A remaster of the first game, first 2 or first 3. Skylanders is in that weird area where I could see it being a solo remaster, but Giants is they're so close together, it's you gotta throw them together, but most things do trilogies, But Swap Force is so
It doesn't
different from the
work.
first.
And then if they did SSA Giants and Trap Team, that would just not make any sense.
Yeah, that'd be weird. So it's mostly just like you would think it would be a duology, and they would just do the first two. Because Swap Force is like people, like outside people, they like those first three games and they think they're iconic. But Swap Force is just so different.
Not only that, but it was developed by a
Yeah.
completely different studio.
Yeah, but I think totally now it's completely possible that we could get it earlier now too, just for the fact that Toys for Bob is now officially indie,
Mhm.
and now that they're indie, it looks like they said they were working with Xbox, right? And it mostly kind of just seems like they're doing that for funding as well as just so they have access to IPs. We don't know that yet 100%. But I can 100% Spyro 4 it has to be the thing that they're working on next. All the purple hints and everything, I mean, I don't really know that much about Spyro. I played the first one through Reignited Trilogy and a little bit of the second one. But even I think the next thing they're doing is Spyro, because Toys for Bob just seemed like a company that cares and they want to deliver to people. Because corporations just don't care like that. They care about money. But the thing is, a good, well-made game makes money. So I think, even Toys for Bob being back to their indie roots, I have hopes for Skylanders. I really do. I don't think it's going to happen now, but I think the potential actually even get it earlier now is on the table.
Absolutely.
Because even the Xbox CEO has said he's on board with revisiting older games.
And Skylanders was name dropped, yeah.
It's true. They did name drop Skylanders, but because they're doing Game Pass now, and they're gonna want as many games that they can to fill up Game Pass. So that's why I think Skylanders is gonna do a digital approach. I'm not saying that they're gonna ditch toys altogether. They might have it as a legacy option in the game, but I am 100% guarantee digital Skylanders will pop up at some point. And I'm not saying buy them like microtransactions, which could happen.
If there's a portal option, I'm using that because I have spent like a little well over 3,000 right now. Since September, I can word. I've spent like $2,000. So I still want to put that to use.
Exactly. And one of the things I just think it'd be so cool, it was literally just the first two games. And they just allow me to play Giants characters in Spyro's Adventure, which I guarantee from an actual developer standpoint is not probably the toughest thing ever. But it would be so cool.
Them, that's like the kind of thing, though.
True, but it's not like the Giants themselves are really that big. Literally, if they wanted to do a different approach and make it canonically still makes sense, right? They could make it so Spyro's Adventure and you can play all the cores from all the later games, which is still a lot of new characters to add. That's 8 from Giants and then 32 from Swap Force and Trap Team because there's 16 cores each. And then it's kind of questionable if you put Spotlight or Blackout in there because they're technically not supposed to be released yet. But I would like to think that they would do the Lego Star Wars approach. And once you 100% and get everything unlocked, you would get like the Dark and Light cores. Like how in the original Lego Star Wars 1, you got Darth Vader. It doesn't make sense for Darth Vader to show up in the prequel game, but you can unlock him. Or you could have like T-Rex be the unlockable character just because he's so iconic. And he's like the one, like, he doesn't fit into Spyro's Adventure, but you could put him in there just because of how iconic he was as like the unlockable character. Right. Because in Spyro's Adventure, technically, canonically, all besides Blackout and Spotlight, all the cores are supposed to be there. They're technically all there. Yeah. So it wouldn't even if they just put Giants cores in there, that'd work. Boom, your roster's up to 40 now. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Xbox bringing it back. Like, if they were to like put it on the 360, I don't remember if it was you talking about it or not, but the portal compatibility would not work because you can't use the 360 portal on the One or the Series.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm sure, if they're talking about portal stuff, they'll do limited runs of portals for the Series X / Xbox One. because that is same thing they did with Fortnite Festival. They came out with guitars. They're very in limited supply, but they exist, and they were produced newly just for Fortnite Festival. So that would be the same thing. But here you got to also remember, Xbox doesn't really do exclusives anymore. They just don't. If Skylanders was coming to anything, it would come to everything. So you don't need to worry about specifically about Xbox portals and stuff like that, because if Skylanders gets remastered, it's not going to be exclusive. It's going to be on everything.
And here's the thing with that, right? I think if they were to ever bring it back and they were like, okay, you can use your original figures, they would most likely have a physical release of the game with the portal and probably some figures.
Yeah.
Because this only makes sense because nobody's going to go out and buy a Trap Team portal for Xbox One just to play the remaster. I mean, some people, right, but for somebody like me or Jesse, it's not worth it. Because that's like, depending on how much it is, like $60 to $80 to $120 for just a little RFID reader.
Yeah, accessibility is a big thing.
Very much so.
Again, that's why I think, they're first and foremost, the digital approach is going to be the main thing. Because I have friends that say, well, I don't want to get into Skylanders because of the physical aspect, even though that's part of the magic of it. And I believe taking that out ruins a lot of what makes Skylanders so magical and special.
It also impacts the story as well.
It's true, but Skylanders' story isn't that complex. You can work around it for the most part, because most people that are playing Skylanders know that you were supposed to have a physical portal. They know that.
But I think for like a younger generation, like my 6-year-old cousin Elias, like if he didn't know what Skylanders was, he wouldn't understand like if they didn't work around it. But what I do think that could be a viable option is RFID cards, right? Or NFC cards. I think if you got like a little pack for like $5 and get 10 figures or like 10 characters, whether they're duplicates or not, I think it'd be interesting because like if you have a duplicate, throw it on, and then boom, the original character now has like boosted stats, and you can keep on getting duplicates and keep upgrading your figures. I feel like that would be the best way to do it because nobody's wanting 600 drill sergeants, right? I mean, I would, but I'm not going to pay for that.
Yeah, and I think a really cool thing about doing that is obviously I think I want the game first and foremost actually to be digital with the toys being optional, obviously. Because I want people to be able to experience that if they don't want to buy into that. And I still believe, yes, it's the not, awesome way to do it. But Skylanders' gameplay, even for a kid's game, is still fun enough to be enjoyed. Just, without having to go through all the hassle portal stuff. But I do think, obviously, it's such a big aspect that I don't think it would be axed completely. I think limited releases, like I said. And then figures probably would be in limited release too. I don't know. I don't think they would do the exact same figure-wise. I think they would be like anniversary figures. I literally imagine them looking like Eon's Elites. If Eon's Elites didn't exist. And that's like the anniversary figures or whatever. But yeah, I have good hopes for Skylanders return at some point. And I really hope, because I never thought I'd be able to think about it like this, but genuinely, if Skylanders ever returned, I think my YouTube channel, I mean, it's not like at hundreds and thousands of subscribers, but I think it's good enough at this point to where I think I would probably get special, like, sent copies. And just even the thought of that makes me feel like, oh my gosh, I've done it.
Well, I gotta catch up to you.
I know. It's just like, I feel like I'm at that point where that would happen. Because, I mean, obviously, unfortunately, this means Vincent and his kids would be back. Skylar Boy and Girl. But I think... I think a lot
would be back.
I know.
I want to have them on here. That'd be kind of cool.
Here's the thing about them, which I won't talk into them because that's a whole different topic. But the kids, they're fine. They didn't do nothing. But that dad kind of sucks. Which I don't like saying that about people, but it's kind of true. He kind of sucks. So
Do I kind of suck?
But I don't think he started out like that. But I think that's just a product of what the internet made him. Which, I think he lost a little bit sight of what, made it so special. He turned it into a job. And he industrialized it, instead of, it being the fun that it was supposed to be. But that's my personal thoughts on that. That's my own.
Make an exposing video on them later.
You see, I've probably done my own fair share of drama, and I say that, and then you watch, it comes out anyways. But I'm gonna try to stay out of drama from now on. I don't particularly enjoy doing it. I make, content over stupid plastic toys. So, but yeah, I'm not quite the dramatic guy. I'm just a guy from Kansas that likes toys. So, we'll keep the Boombringer name out of drama because we all know and have how that has gone. I mean,
November 17th.
November 17th, the reckoning. I was free.
November 17th.
Yeah, but I'm happy with the current state that I'm in. The YouTube channel is in. Even Skylanders as a whole. I genuinely wish. Okay. Surely at some point, Spire fans complain that they don't get anything, and then they do. They get cameos and stuff like that, but they also get merch. They get Funko Pops. They get T-shirts. They get the whole shebang. I am waiting for Skylanders to get that.
I don't understand until a remaster or a sequel, though.
I know, but Funko Pops has the most obscure characters that line the shelves that nobody wants, and Skylanders fans are already toy collectors. So I don't understand why they don't do Funko Pops. Because not saying that I think Funko Pops are good. I'm just saying that they work, and so many of the Skylander designs actually would look good with the stupid black eyes.
Food Fight would go crazy as a Funko Pop. I could just imagine.
Yo,
dude. But anyways,
would look great too. I'm just saying, there's a lot of examples, and the Skylander designs would translate well. And I still don't understand. I want something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I need a new game. Give me a T-shirt. And the fact that that's why even Toys R Us making those live streams saying, recognizing the games meant a lot, because it was that's the first official confirmation. Even literally the Xbox CEO name dropping Skylanders was crazy for me. Nobody even talked about that, and I had to make a video on it. I thought that was crazy.
Look, to be fair, I don't think everybody watches that kind of stuff. Like, me and Jesse recently will watch every single showcase for anything Skylanders. I mean, obviously, nothing's happened, and we've all had our hopes crushed.
Oh, yeah.
But there's always that chance that it happens, so that's why I will never give up.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But I am hopeful for the future. Hopefully, I'll get my T-shirt, so...
What's kind of funny about the Funko Pop idea, I think if they were to do that, they could put NFC or RFID tags in them, and they could be the special tag of that character. I think they'd go crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, see, there's already so many unique things you can do with Skylanders. But yeah, I hope it does return it one day. If not, I'm actually still very happy that Skylanders chips are actually built pretty well. I have never had any Skylander fail on me, except my Lightcore Hex that came with my pre-order bonus for Swap Force. She failed a month after Swap Force came out, which was
terrible.
That. So she might. Well, the thing is, she still lights up. She just doesn't get recognized by the game. So I mean, that one was just kind of probably a little bit defective. But the fact that
another thing you can do too is go into Giants and just fix the broken figure.
Well, it doesn't pick anything up.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it lights up, so...
Do you still have it?
Up. Oh, yeah, I still have it.
Oh, we gotta figure out how to get this thing to work, though.
Well, I think it's weirdly dead, but I'm pretty sure that... I don't know how the light core system works, but isn't it the chip is what powers the light core?
Yep.
I don't know. So I don't understand why the game doesn't pick it up. Nothing picks it up, but... the light core lights up, so... But yeah, I don't know. I just think that's weird. But Skylanders chips are very resilient, so.
I mean, it couldn't survive your cousin eating the shit.
No, they couldn't do that, but you know what? That's okay.
I mean, to be fair, if I saw a Gilgrunt chip, I'd just go nom nom nom.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yummy.
it's pretty yummy. So, yeah, but all right, you got any more questions?
No, I think we've about done it. We're at 2 hours and 30 minutes right now.
All right, sweet.
You
Well,
have anything to say, Jesse?
Not particularly.
He's
Other than
always
that
like
was-
this.
Sorry, fuck.
Hey, man, I'm just happy that I'm a yapper.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
I always
really
got
glad you
something to
joined.
say. Hey,
Yeah.
any excuse I get to yap is a good excuse, all right?
Definitely. One question though. It's not really related to the podcast, but is there a chance that you could get, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2?
You see, that will happen when Deer downloads Fortnite.
All right.
And
Well, I got
plays.
Fortnite, so
Yes, but it has to be Deer specifically because I played the first one and I'm trying to 100% the first Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare on Xbox One and 360. Before I move on to Plants vs Zombie Garden Warfare 2, which I can't even 100% because some of the achievements are unobtainable. So
great.
yeah, which of course I would still just play it just because it's fun. But that is my mentality: is Deer has to play Fortnite, and then I will play Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2.
Well, I'm gonna religiously message him at this point.
Trust me, I've tried. I've tried everything in the book because I'm telling you, he's actually Squidward before he ate the Krabby Patty. I'm telling you. Once he takes one bite of that, he'll be like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever played. It tastes so good." But no, he refuses to download it, and I'm like, "Come on, expand your taste a little bit." I'm telling you, that's me. I'm 18 years old. I went to a Burger King and I had a burger with pickles on it the first time. Changed my life. You
Dude, same with onions though.
Yeah, expand your taste.
Oh my god, dude, same.
I don't know. It's just like, you know what? Maybe Fortnite will be peak, and he just doesn't know it, and I'm waiting on that. So,
But as for that, I think that pretty much wraps it up.
all right.
Thanks for coming on. It was an honor to have you, and I can't wait for you to shout this
Honestly.
out next week, and all the
Oh,
views
yeah.
start rolling in. I'm gonna be rolling in the Benjamins.
Hopefully, yeah. I hope for the best.
Absolutely, and I just can't wait for the future of not only this podcast and this channel, but also of course, Skylanders. It'll be so peak.
It will be absolutely peak,
Yeah.
peak, peak. But I appreciate you guys having me on. The fact that I even get to be able to sit here and say like I'm being interviewed because of the point I stand when it comes to Skylanders. It means a lot to me, obviously, and I know I've talked about that a lot, so I won't yap about it.
And it's kind of
But-
funny. Like every single time we talk, we have conversations that are longer than this podcast. It's like missed
True.
opportunity to record. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot to talk about, and I don't know. It's nice to be able to talk to people about the thing you like because I'm fortunate enough. Obviously, my brother likes Skylanders. Noah, my friend, likes Skylanders. My cousin likes Skylanders, and I know not everybody has that. So it's very cool to be able to talk to other people that like that too. Sometimes they are not as fortunate as me, and I get to be their outlet for that, and that's pretty cool. So,
With that
I
being
hope-
said, we gotta hop on some Skylanders at some point. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah. Well, especially battle mode because I need to demolish everybody again.
Oh yeah, no. I'm calling a rematch, and I think I'll cook this time.
Okay, that's
I don't know
good.
about Jesse. I think he might still kick his ass, but that's mainly because he's not paying.
Yeah.
Well, because I think it's funny. The Dread Yacht, which is like one of the Skylander servers or whatever, I signed up for a Skylanders tournament in there because I just wanted to kick their booties, right? But bros have taken like 3 months to actually get this tournament under, and then they took another 2 weeks because they said, "Oh, hang on, we're gonna cancel this, and then we're gonna reschedule it for 2 more weeks." And I'm like, guys, this is actually gonna be a 15-minute tournament. Come on, what are you doing?
Not
Let me
only that, I
kick
think they're
people's
scared of you.
booty. Oh, 100%. Everybody's scared of me.
They saw
I'm a
my video and
monster.
they're like, "Ah."
But yeah, so
But yeah, I'll end this recording, but we can of course keep talking afterwards because there's always something to talk about.
okay. Well then, that sounds good. Well, the people that are listening to it after it's been uploaded, thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me yap bringer. So
Yep,
I
and I of course
appreciate it,
thank
and
them as
thank you
well.
guys for having me on.
Yep, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you have anything to say, Jesse?
Other than that, it was a great podcast. Great conversation with Boom.
As
Thank you.
always. But with that, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Go check out Boombringer if you didn't come from him already. But yeah. Oh yeah, also check out Jesse. He's pretty cool too. He like speedruns a really weird Japanese game.
Thank you.
I just call this thing weird and he's like, thank you. I respect it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I know I keep saying that. This is gonna be it now. See ya. Jesse, you're gonna say the famous line. See ya.
Yeah. See ya.